Welcome to the 2023 soccer season here on CTN as the Coon Rapids Cardinals open their season hosting the Maple Grove Crimson. Good afternoon, everybody. From Cardinal Athletic Complex, I'm Bill Hupp alongside Howie Shapiro and our director Joel Sipper and our entire fantastic crew in CTN. Coon Rapids, Howie opens with a tough one. Maple Grove coming off a fourth place finish at state, an 18-3 record. Crimson already off to a 1-0 start this season. And the Cardinals, having lost a lot to graduation and other circumstances, face a tall task in their home opener.
They do, and they had a tough season a year ago, but they played Maple Grove really tough last year, just losing 2-0 to the Crimson, who, finished, I think, 18-3 for the season and third in the state. So there's head coach Tyler Seidel. This is a team that their best player, I believe one of their best players, went to play at the next level, and so he's not playing high school ball this year. And so it's something that I know that they're looking to adjust to, but they're excited for the challenge.
Yep, and part of the, they'll have a lot of guys that will return that have experience, including on the back line and Ben Kish, their captains, Ben Kish, Andrew Hyatt, Luke Rising in goal. He's a 3-year starter as you look at him wearing the captain's armband. So they do have some experienced players, and the Cardinals will kick it off here on this warm summer's afternoon, 83 degrees at kickoff here at Cardinals Stadium.
Yeah, and again, I think it'll be interesting in the as you mentioned, the Crimson won their first game of the season. Cardinals see what they have in their first game of the year.
Yep, should be interesting. It's certainly a good challenge in those new uniforms that one of their assistant coaches designed, the black
I like them,
with the red numerals and the red and white stripes on the front. Maple Grove in the very simple white kits with the maroon lettering and numerals. Yeah, the Cardinals look sharp. Hopefully they can play sharp as well as Frank Miller, the junior defenseman, squares it in the middle. And the Crimson on the front foot early. Crimson pressing, they force the turnover. It's crossed to the far post and deflected into the hands of Luke Rising, nearly an own goal. Jerry Freeman, or Nathan Heverin rather, knocking it into the path of Rising, who...
Yeah, that's not how you want to start your season, by scoring an own goal.
No.
As this game develops, both coaches are extremely familiar with each other, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. And they're hoping to develop a rivalry in this conference.
Maple Grove, the defending conference champions, defending section champions. And it was interesting, they put together a scrimmage with them. Woodbury, who was defending second place in the state.
Yep.
And then a couple other teams as well. And so that was a good test for the Cardinals and got them a little bit of kind of a warm-up for this game. But obviously a lot of different kids playing in that. Now this is more of the settled team. And the Crimson, just such a strong program. 112 kids went out for soccer this year. They didn't cut anybody.
That's amazing. When you told me that stat, I couldn't believe it. The fact, I can understand 112 kids, but not to cut anybody.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned that they have a couple of different JV teams.
Yep. Couple different JV, couple different, 3 different freshman teams. Yep. So
it's great.
Yeah. So soccer alive and well as they control here with Gautam Barani. He plays it into the channel, looking for Felix Siafa, and it goes out for a corner. First corner to kick of the game, going the way of the Crimson. So they'll have Ike Duell coming over to take it, the junior.
Maple Grove lost a lot of scoring from a year ago, but their 3 senior captains have been very active at the varsity level, so they've got some leadership coming back as well, even though they lost that kind of firepower.
Into the path of Jerry Freeman, but a good recovery by Mr. Barani, one of the senior starters on this Crimson team. So Crimson graduated a lot, including Chris France, who is now playing his soccer at McAllister.
Yeah.
Ball over the top, looking for Siafa. He runs onto it, lays it off. There's a shot, and the first goal of the season goes the way of the Crimson.
Yeah, beautiful play. Nice setup there. And they got behind the defense, and it was pretty much an easy goal for Maple Grove here early on in this contest to make it 1-0.
Coolly finished there by Ike Duell, the senior striker. It was laid off to him by by Felix Siafa. So Siafa gets the assist, and you just see him there. Good hold up play, just knocked it down and then laid it off, and then a one-touch finish from Duel. So Duel gets the goal. Siafa gets the assist. That goal coming at the 37:02 mark. And Maple Grove takes an early 1-0 lead.
Well, and too, early on, they're just controlling the action down at the Cardinal end. And, that's what they do. And they apply pressure. They thought, we lost our scoring, but they did manage 4 goals in their first game.
Yep, they beat White Bear Lake on the road. They have 9 road games this year, so something that, talking to their head coach, they'll have to learn to deal with. There's a shot by Barani that takes a deflection, and so Maple Grove will have a corner just this time from the far side.
Well, and that came right out to Barani as well. He had a great opportunity, a good look in front of the goal, but fortunately the Cardinals were able to get a piece of that.
Yeah, when you got a huge bench, Maple Grove just has probably about 11 or 12 kids on their bench alone.
Right.
Duel taking the corner, driven to the near post, but defended well by Jackson Young, the junior midfielder. Still loose in the box, finally cleared by Coon Rapids. Barani nods it to the far side. It's played down line. Spinning away and winning the challenge there. Maple Grove cross to the far post, all alone in front. It's knotted, blocked in front. Cardinals laying their bodies on the line to block it. Comes out to Barani. Siafa gets free. His shot's blocked. Takes another crack at it. Believe that was Ben Kish. Big Ben Kish getting in the way.
Early on, the Crimson are just peppering the Cardinal goal.
Yeah, Cardinals, though, blocking a lot of shots, not allowing the shots to reach their goalie, Luke Rising. Drop back to Keegan Anderson. He tries to play it down line for Freeman. Anderson in the middle, stolen back here. Max Johnson, the senior. Like we said, a senior-laden lineup.
Yep.
Starting lineup, anyway, for Maple Grove is a little arm tussling, and the ball runs out for a goal kick.
You see, just trying to clear that ball in front of the goal mouth.
Yep, and sometimes you want Rising to come out and grab it, but there were so many bodies in that box that it's not as easy as you might think to be definitive. Siafa flicks it on with the header. And the game, so much of the game will be controlled here in the midfield. So far, the Crimson winning that battle as Vinny Guadagno, one of the 3 Maple Grove captains in the starting 11 today.
And one of the best names as well. Love it.
Vinny Guadagno. Guadagno. I might screw that up a time or two today. I hope not.
I have all the faith in the world in you, Bill.
No excuse. No excuse when you're filling in for Joe Yund. Ball runs out on the far side. It goes back to Maple Grove. Well, they're big shoes to fill. That's
Are you kidding? They're like size 17. But that's the children's section.
Here's Guadagno. He's playing back through his keeper, Beckett Carlson, who's also one of those captains. Carlson is considered one of the better keepers in state, even though he didn't play last year. He was stuck behind the main keeper.
When you have that kind of talent in that program.
Shot from distance, and Rising forced to make a diving save. It's crossed this time, and they score.
Wow. And again, it was a tough angle to get that. He just had to get that angle correctly. And
Max Johnson pounced on the save that Rising made. We'll look and see. The initial shot was from distance, from well outside the box. It forced Rising to dive to his left. That was struck sweetly off the turf. Rising dove.
Look at the angle.
And then he somehow snuck it in between the post and the goaltender. Johnson did. He was first to it. And you would think he wouldn't have much of an angle, but somehow he managed to sneak it in. And Maple Grove takes a 2-0 lead.
Here at CTN, we call that Yund-like. It's just an amazing play. Yund was an amazing athlete back in his day. So anything that's spectacular is always Yund-like.
So Max Johnson, no assist on the goal. Max Johnson credited with the tally, and Maple Grove has a quick 2-0 lead here, less than 10 minutes into this opening game of the Cardinals season. And, you talking to Tyler Seidel before the game, how he talked about how they're going to take their lumps a little bit this year, but you get better by playing quality teams like Maple Grove, and you can only play who's on your schedule.
Exactly.
So
well, and they're definitely playing a quality team tonight.
Yeah, no question. And it's certainly an advantage that Maple Grove has already had a game in the books. Time to work things out. Johnson's cross to the far post looking for Siafa, and it's knotted down and falls into the hands of Rising.
That time defense did a good job of just really getting in front of the Maple Grove player and making sure he did not get a look at it. You can see it again.
And that was just stood up at the far post, and Siafa was there. He just mistimed his jump.
He had a couple of defenders on either side of him as well.
Sandwiched between Cardinals. Siafa has been everywhere in the early going. Maple Grove continuing to possess the ball. This is number 23, Devin O'Callahan. Played beautifully down line. Cross cut out by Kish on the far side. Hot day, but a beautiful day for soccer here in Coon Rapids.
Yeah, and we've got a bit of a breeze, so it keeps things a little bit cool. But you're right, it is warm. It's going to get warm again this week.
Tyler Seidel looks, or the Maple Grove coaching staff, I should say, look things over. They're led by a couple of co-head coaches in Greg Leininger and Justin Turner.
Well, Coach Turner and Coach Seidel coach together for the Fusion, so they're well aware of each other. And Coach Turner had a lot of wonderful things to say about Coach Seidel, what a great coach he is.
What an outstanding beard he possesses.
Oh, well, that's true, too.
That goes without saying, really. They go back through the goaltender, Carlson. Near side for Guadagno. I think I've got it.
I think you do as well.
Yeah. Nice job by Freeman to split defenders. Such physical defending, though, from Maple Grove, and they've got such size and height.
Well, and again, we really haven't seen the Cardinals threaten offensively yet so far.
They've got to possess in the final third at this point. No shots either on goal or otherwise yet for Maple Grove. Already we've seen a lot of number 6, Ethan Smith. Big blonde head on the far side. Freeman, it's a tough task for number 30 there today, as he has kind of the lone dog up top. He's just got to control things and try his best to hold the ball up and make something happen. Guadagno playing catch with Owen Bersham. Switched far side for Smith. Down line into the channel, and it runs out of play away from Duel. There's a shot from distance, bouncing into the arms of Rising.
Yeah, harmless shot there. Rising able to field it easily.
I think it's interesting because, these games all used to be played on grass, and now it feels like they're all exclusively played on turf, right?
Well,
and so the kids are almost accustomed to the speed of the pass and the ball and the bounces.
Well, the Cardinals are one of 3 teams that were last to get an artificial team in the far right side end zone to our right. There was always, at the old grass field, there was always a dip with a little sewer grate in the corner. I'm surprised more people did not get injured by it. But now, and I talked to Cardinal athletes who've been back and haven't seen the turf the first time. It's amazing the difference on this field.
Yeah, it really is one of the finest facilities in this area.
Yeah.
As a couple Crimson warm up on the track below us. Johnson. Guadagno switching play, and it's all about, how well can you move that ball and make the defense adjust, and how well do they keep their shape when they do.
Right.
Guadagno through the midfield. Crimson just patiently knocking it around with that 2-goal lead here in the early going.
Yeah, again, they've been able to do what they want for the most part. They've defensively, Coon Rapids has played fairly well because they've been able to stuff a few things up. that could have been chances, but so far Maple Grove doing what they want, and that's why they're up 2-0.
Rising off his line to collect that one before Siafa could get there, and that's something that we have seen Rising do throughout his Cardinal career. He's not afraid to go out and make plays and be aggressive.
Yep.
And so he's kept the Cardinals in many a game with his reaction saves. Duel trying to feed a cutting Caleb Mance. Maple Grove, every time they seemingly turn it over, they get it right back. Johnson outside of the boot. Trying to feed Colin Ames in his, I'll say it, resplendent pink boots.
I'm a big fan of pink, so I like them.
Maybe he was inspired by the movie Barbie.
You think
the Barbie craze. It could be. I'm going to give him that.
Maybe they're Barbie cleats.
They could be, yeah.
I'm not saying in a the guy version of them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the size. I mean.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure they don't have like pictures of Barbie on them.
It'd be cooler if they did.
I might.
Far side here is Smith. Trying to hit Siafa, kind of split Siafa and Johnson. Duel. A little 1-2, but it will be collected by Rising. Week from today, Coon Rapids will be right back here playing another conference rival, Anoka. We'll have that game for you.
You'll be here.
I will. Actually, it's more than a week from today, but yes, I will be here.
It's a week from Wednesday.
A week from Wednesday, yes. Carlson, plenty of green carpet to aim for. But like a lot of good teams, they want to possess. They want to play it out from the back.
Well, and again, you talk about fundamentals, and you're able to work on these fundamentals, especially obviously early in the season. You have scrimmages, but when it comes to live action, it's a little different. And so Maple Grove, even though they're up 2-0, they're continually working on their game, as are the Cardinals.
Ball runs out on the near side, and the next whistle, we'll get our first look at Carter Mast, who is a freshman defender. And if he's a freshman that made this Maple Grove varsity and is getting minutes, he must be something else. So he'll substitute in. He's a big kid. Other substitutions include Anthony Jarek. And at number 20, Mason Reed. And even especially on a hot day like today, Maple Grove's going to try to use their depth and
why wouldn't you
wear them down. Siafa, a little 1-2 with Jarek.
And if you're Maple Grove and you can build this score, obviously Cardinals want to prevent that, but if you can build this score, then you've got an opportunity to use a little more of your bench as well.
Yeah, and certainly this is a chance. They'll feel like this is a chance in this game to get kids minutes that might not otherwise play every time. Caleb Mance, nice ball, and runs out of play, and so goal kick to the Cardinals. 2-0 our score, 16 minutes into this first half. Bill Hupp, Howie Shapiro.
It's Howie, don't call me Schwab.
I was going to say, every time I have to catch myself.
No, I didn't mean to put that in your head.
Yeah.
Very confused.
Just want to stump the Schwab, every time. Good to be back. First broadcast of the high school season. Maybe not for you, but for
it's
me.
Our second. We actually did a really entertaining, a fun volleyball match. Cardinals under new head coach as well.
A hot one, right?
It was so warm. It was a sweat box. But the volleyball squad won in 4 sets. It was fun. And
Jarek battling hard with Keegan Anderson. First foul of the game goes the way of Coon Rapids.
But it was a good one. And the Cardinals won the first set, dropped the second, and then won the next 2 to take a 3-1 victory.
Coon Rapids getting set to make its first substitution of the game. at the next whistle. Kish to take this free kick. Yeah, the Cardinals volleyball team will be a fun watch this year.
Yep.
As we see Connor Young, the sophomore midfielder, the first sub off the bench for head coach Tyler Seidel. He replaces Andrew Hyatt, one of those senior captains we talked about.
Connor, the younger brother of Jackson Young.
Couple brothers on this team with the Kishes in the starting lineup. One thing that certainly stands out watching this Maple Grove team knock it around is their patience and poise on the ball. Always head up, looking to make the next right pass, and the unselfishness is so impressive as Mance dances around defenders on the far side. Caleb Mance carries and then lays it off for Smith. Left-footed cross to Siafa. He tracks it down to the edge of the box. Hounded out there by Hacker. Siafa gets by Hacker, and then it's knocked out of play by Anderson for another Maple Grove corner. Third of the game for the Crimson. They'll make another couple substitutions. Continuing to go deep into that bench.
Well, when you've got that kind of bench, you can move players in and out of the lineup and keep everybody fresh, especially on a hot evening.
Gavin Chabika. And Everett Johnston, a sophomore, into the game, and Johnston will trot over and take this corner from the near side. Met at the near post nicely. Defended well by the Cardinals. Johnston recovers, and then Freeman tracks back and steals it. But a hustling Johnston takes it right back for the Crimson. We'll go play it all the way back to Carlson in the box. Cardinals preparing another raft of substitutions.
And their bench isn't quite as deep as Maple Grove, but not too bad. They're able to get players in and out.
Every time I watch that ball, especially through the binoculars,
Yeah.
I just think, couldn't they find a cleaner ball? Or
Well, they're all like that.
yeah, they're just the gray.
It's
the
the
gray.
gray.
It's the style, but boy,
Apparently.
it just looks like it. They picked it up from the dumpster. Through ball goes out of play, and so it's another.
Well, that's that new soccer store in town. It's called the Dumpster.
It looks like they're kicking a stone.
Well, yeah, you know, I've always thought soccer balls typically were white, but I know they're like a fluorescent color. I've seen that as well.
So in England, in the Premier League, in the wintertime, actually in a lot of European leagues, at a certain point, because of how dark and sort of gloomy it is, they switch to like a yellow ball.
Yeah, I've
they
seen
have a
that.
winter ball.
Yeah, interesting.
I have a winter ball as well, but I typically wear a tux to that.
Bill is here all week.
Tip your waiters.
Yeah, but he's here all week. He's down at the Holiday Inn in Andover if you want to
Yeah,
go see him.
Tip your wait staff. Speedy entered into the game, Christian Alvarado Gonzalez, making something happen, but again, defensive pressure. Oh, good dummy, leaving it for Caleb Mance. He'll play it into the channel for a teammate to run onto. Kish trying to shield it, and a nice job by Rising, sliding off his line.
Well, you talked about Rising's aggressive, and he made sure, and a nice job by Kish just to make sure that he was able to come out and make that save.
Prodded forward by Mance. He is starting to assert himself for sure. Dropped back for Chabika. It's a throw on the near side for the Crimson. hard to sit here and not that we are, but it's hard to sit here and talk about or complain about the heat when you know what's around the corner.
I'm not complaining. I'm comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But there have been plenty of football games where you're in a coat and tie and it's really humid.
Yes.
And not a lot of fun.
100%. Johnston looking for a teammate, but it goes out of play. Just trying to hit Colin Merritt, fellow sophomore. Merrick first to that header. And one thing, we talked about this in the pregame, Howie, but one thing Tyler Seidel's teams always do, they're always soundly positioned,
yes,
and they always hustle. They always play, the full 80 minutes. There's never any quit in these kids, and we've seen it in playoff losses and playoff games, and just in general, and a lot of close games. Like you said, 2-0 to Maple Grove last year when the Crimson, only lost 3 times all season and finished 4th in state. So falling in the semifinals. Really just a perennial powerhouse, and obviously having a guy like Chris France, who is their all-time leading scorer, is a loss.
Yes, it is.
So the question with the Crimson this year, because the feeling was, they're returning Carlson, even though he's back up solid in net, they're returning a lot of senior defenders.
Correct.
Like Guadagno and Ethan Smith. So the question was, where are they going to get the goals? And that wasn't an issue, though, in the first game.
No, they've scored 6 goals in 2 games so far, and we haven't finished the first half of this game.
Yeah, in a game and a half, basically.
Right.
Free kick blocked down, not the best one taken, but... And again, they can press, too, with how much depth they have, and if they feel comfortable going deep into their bench with, 8-9 guys, they can press and rotate quickly. So it depends on, do you want more continuity, or do you want to, keep the pressure on and just have guys go all out for 5 minutes,
right?
At a time. Near side for Merrick. He does a nice job keeping it in.
He did.
Boom towards the back post. Rising comes and punches it away. Skillfully done by the Cardinals senior netminder.
Yeah, because I don't think he had an opportunity to actually catch that ball, but he was able to dive for it and punch it away, as you mentioned, doing a really good job of keeping it out in front of the net.
Well, as a high school goalie myself, I can tell you that, they always teach you, if you can't do that, to at least punch it to safety. There's a shot from distance. Rising makes the save. Makes another terrific save. Wow. On the follow-up.
Boy, that was a big save by Rising.
Diving to his right twice. He first denied Everett Johnston and then Max Johnson.
Yeah, he took that one away from Max Johnson. There's the punch out. And a really nice job of getting inside. Gets the save there, and then what a great job of just getting back to his knees. And Max Johnson shot a bullet at him, and he was able to grab it and make the save.
Well, and the initial save went right to Max Johnson,
yep,
who looked like he had nothing, but he had a clear shot to finish it, but he was unable to do so, and it remains a two-goal deficit, I should say, for Coon Rapids. Crimson continue to knock it around. Good foot in the passing lane to deflect it free. And now Edwin Boyce tries to clear it, but can't. Again, Crimson content to just possess and play it back if they need to and then regroup. Sometimes switching sides like this, helps you regroup and helps you get your shape back as a team and get those triangles again. Merrick down line into the channel. But a little heavy on the pass. So Cardinals hanging in there. Luke Rising has made a couple tremendous saves.
Well, heck, if they can keep this at 2-0 and then get an opportunity to get at least one tally before the end of the half, that would be great, because it looked like at the start of this contest that Maple Grove was going to have 4 goals by this time.
Unofficially, Crimson have 5 shots on goal. Rising has 3 saves. Chabika.
Well, and you think of the blocks, too, that the defense.
Yeah. Oh, they've had a lot more
yeah.
shots, just shots on goal.
Right, but I'm saying had they not been blocks, there may have been an opportunity to score goals.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No, the defense, been a total defensive effort to limit the damage. Johnston has it taken off his toes. Chabika, kind of an awkward slide, but gets the ball away. Here's a shot from distance. Doesn't trouble Rising. Sort of a half cross, half shot as we near 12 minutes to go in the first half.
Well, it's been a cleanly played first half. Just the one penalty called so far here in this contest.
2 fouls total.
It was 2?
Yeah, one
that's
on
right.
each.
That's right.
One
there
on
was
each,
one on
yeah.
each. Okay, you're right.
But that's it.
Yep.
As we have Fidel Dequamano rather, into the game up top, replacing Keegan Anderson. So Dequamano will be the target man up top for the Cardinals. The challenge in the second half, actually, Rising is probably glad he's got the sun in this half, because it'll be right in Carlson's face as it starts to set in the second half. Dequamano has it knocked out of play. Wow, they gave it to gave the throw to Maple Grove. Surprising. Maple Grove, again, very patient and precise in possession. Guadagno, near side, finds Jarek. Ball to the top of the box, knotted down by the Cardinals. Maple Grove just passing it along the front of the 18-yard box. Chabika. Jarek. Guadagno will go cross field to his defensive partner, Bersham. Crossed into the box, big collision in front with Rising, and
huge.
Yeah, and number 31 for Maple Grove, Colin Merritt, took the worst of that one. He's up now, though. Seems to be okay.
Yeah, he seems to be all right.
But
you could hear it from up here.
So you take a look at the replay, and nobody marking him, so Rising had to come out, and he's sort of
right, almost on the chin or underneath the chin.
Yeah, he punched the ball and then kind of punched Merritt, unintentionally, of course. Just a mid-air collision that you kind of have seen. Rising's a solid dude. I wouldn't want to collide mid-air with him.
I don't know if I'd want to collide mid-air with anybody.
Not at our age.
No, especially at my age. I go down for the count if that's the case.
Slick feet from Anthony Jarek.
Athletic trainer Jeremy Shepard getting a workout down there on the sideline retrieving soccer balls.
Well, he's got to do something when there's no injuries. Oh, excellent feed from Everett Johnston to track it down. He goes to the end line, and then his cross deflected out of play by Kish. Good block. That's what I think Tyler Seidel, I'm going to project my own coaching viewpoints on Seidel, but if anything, it seems like Maple Grove's, the crosses are getting in too easily.
Yep.
So you don't want to press up too far because you can get dribbled around, but it's really tough on your defense if you're just not even blocking or obstructing crosses and they're coming in clean.
Right, and I'm sure he sees those things, so an opportunity at halftime to try and make some adjustments.
Us bearded soccer guys, we think the same.
You stick together.
Yeah. Johnston from the near side. Goal kick this time. substitutions into the game for the Cardinals. Adam Kish in along with Noah Akasip, the sophomore, and he's one to watch, according to Coach Seidel. Young and inexperienced, just a sophomore, but good size there in the midfield, and so loses his first aerial duel, however. Here come the Crimson. Well, 1-2, not on the same page, and so another goal kick for Coon Rapids with 7 minutes remaining before halftime.
Well, we talked about, the Cardinals is not getting much, obviously not much pressure, and thanks to Maple Grove doing a really good job of keeping possession down in the Cardinal end, making it difficult for them to get on the board.
In case you just joined us, Maple Grove had scored 2 goals in the first 7 minutes of this contest, and they've comfortably led ever since. Cardinals have kind of settled in, though. There's always that first moment jitters. Rising comes out, he misses it. Johnston into the side netting.
Boy, he had a great opportunity because when he went
wide
down.
Open net.
Yeah.
Rising missed it. That's the thing about a goalie. If you come for that ball, you better get it, or at least a touch. Rising didn't, but fortunately for the Cardinals, it went into the side net. He's take a look at the highlight here. Rising missing the ball, and then.
Yeah, he had a lot of open net. He was very fortunate. Granted, there was a defender there, but he just couldn't sneak it around him.
AJ Suave, and a little bit of a miscommunication here. Cardinals hoping to take advantage, and they do!
Wow.
An error in the backfield by Maple Grove leads to a Cardinals tally here late in the first half.
Well, Bill, that's exactly what the Cardinals needed, and they got to hope for those kind of mistakes by Maple Grove. And when that happens, you have to capitalize.
The senior Fidel Dequamani scores the goal, taking advantage of the miscommunication. You see it right here. Popped forward. Carlson way too far out, and then the speed of Dequamani gets there first, and so Guadagno a little aggressive with that back header, and Carlson probably too far out.
Yeah. But
then Dequamani made him pay. 2-1.
Exactly, and Dequamani, again, you saw that, using his speed to get to that ball, and that's the break the Cardinals needed. Now they're just down 2-1 with a little over 5 minutes remaining in the first half.
It's a game of runs. It's a game of momentum, and right now, Cardinals feeling a little. They'll take it. They'll take it. You got to be opportunistic in this game, and they were right there with Fidel Dequamani off the bench. Fidel Dequamano. That's what we're going with. Dequamano.
Dequamano?
Yeah, Mano. With an L. Not an I.
Not an I.
Not an I. They're pronouncing with an I, but everywhere I have it, it's with an L. So Fidel Dequamano, the senior striker, off the bench, cuts the deficit to 1 goal. 2-1 our score. Now Maple Grove back on the front foot, hoping to regain that 2-goal advantage before halftime. Just 4 minutes left. Cross to the top of the box. A little bit of miscommunication. It goes out. And it's going to be another corner kick for Maple Grove. 5th of the contest. As it'll be taken by Will Sarkella. A lot of juniors on this Crimson team as Sarkella drives it to the front post. It's saved out initially. Great save by Rising, and then cleared off the line by the Cardinals.
That was a great opportunity defensively for the Cardinals to provide an opportunity for the Crimson to go up 3-1.
Well, Dequamano, and a great tackle made, and a desperate one needed by Guadagno, although they did call a foul. Guadagno got the ball, but they call a foul, and so a chance here is Dequamano really on his own up top. Tried to split defenders. As we see the save here, rising off the line, tremendous, and then it was just cleared. Meanwhile, Dequamano on the other end gets crunched. Now, Guadagno won the ball, but he goes across, and Cardinals will take it.
Yes, they will.
So here's a chance for Coon Rapids to the box, floated in. Carlson came initially and then backtracked, and fortunately for Maple Grove, they were able to clear the danger. Maple Grove, we talked about the strength of their team being their defense coming into the season, but they've had some shaky moments here, a little bit of miscommunication in the first half. Mason Reed on the turn. Attack very narrow as Rising lets that play through.
Yeah, they tried to spring somebody through the defense, not able to do so. The ball rolls harmlessly to Luke Rising.
Oh, nifty feet there from Akasap. Drop back for Guadagno. This is Carter Mass, the freshman, controlling things at center mid. Again, Maple Grove scored twice in the first 7 minutes of the first half. Coon Rapids got one back with about 5:45 to play. And as time ticks down here in the first half, Cardinals very much in this contest.
Oh yeah, that goal was huge, Bill. Just huge, and because they really have not gotten anything going offensively, quite obviously in this first half. But for them to capitalize on a miscue by the defense of Maple Grove, and those are the kind of things you have to take advantage of when they happen. And the Cardinals certainly did.
Carlson almost kind of playing that sweeper-keeper role. And that ball gets through. A couple quick passes, Rising off his line again and makes save. If it were me, I think I would wear pants as a goalie on this turf.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be sliding this much. Under 30 seconds to go first half.
Well, he's got those long socks, but even still, with the pad in there, but even still, if you're sliding, there's plenty of skin exposed that you're going to get a little burn from the turf.
Oh, beautiful takedown and turn in the middle of the park as time is running out here. Last chance for Maple Grove. Rising collects as time expires here in the first half. Crimson got a couple goals early to take a 2-0 lead, but Coon Rapids takes advantage of a mistake by the Crimson defense, and Fidel Dequamano cuts the deficit to 2-1. That's where we stand at halftime here at Cardinals Stadium on CTN.
Today we're on soccer, Joe. So my goal is to kick around some topics with you, but I don't want to foul things up by being too forward.
Please stop that.
So could you assist me?
Stop.
Maybe pass some ideas
How?
so we can tackle this together?
Howie? Oh, boy.
I'm just saying, this really isn't my field.
Unbelievable.
Want to know the who, what, when, and where of Coon Rapids? Then follow CTN on social media. It's that simple. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, keep up with local news, sports, and events. And the people who make our community such a great place to live. So give us a follow, like, share, or subscribe, and always be the first to know what's up in Coon Rapids. That's CTN, helping you stay connected.
Back here at Cardinals Stadium at halftime, where the Cardinals trail Maple Grove 2-1 in what was a very competitive first half. Didn't start very well for Coon Rapids, but after that, the Cardinals more than held their own. As we take a look at our first half highlights, and it started early. A great ball up to Felix Siafa, who laid it off for Max Johnson, or for Duel rather, and Ike Duel made it 1-0 3 minutes into the game. And then Luke Rising makes a save, but Max Johnson is Johnny on the spot, snuck it at the near post past Rising for a quick 2-0 lead. First to 7 minutes. Great saves though by Luke Rising right here as he goes down to make a couple stops, and then a bit of a miscommunication as Vinny Guadagno heads it past the keeper Beckett Carlson, and Fidel Declamano is on the spot to tap it home and run onto that loose ball to give the Cardinals a goal back with 5 minutes to go before the half. So that's where we stand. 2-1. Coon Rapids trails Maple Grove at the half. Second half action coming up shortly from Cardinal Stadium on CTN. Second half action about to start here in Coon Rapids at Cardinal Stadium. Bill Hupp and Howie Shapiro on CTN as the Cardinals hope to claw one back and tie this game against the heavily favored Maple Grove Crimson, who are 1-0 on the season after going 18-3 and finishing 4th in state last year. The Cardinals have hung around. I mean, Maple Grove has had the lion's share of the possession and the opportunities, but thanks to some great saves from that man, Luke Rising, Cardinals very much in this game as we start the second half with the Crimson to kick off.
Yeah, when this game started, it was 2-0 fairly quickly, and I thought, well, maybe Maple Grove is just going to dominate. But, Cardinals, as you mentioned, defensively played well, and that unassisted goal for the Cardinals off the miscue towards the end of that first half was huge for Coon Rapids.
I wonder if Maple Grove is going to be maybe a little more direct, as we see there with Guadagno trying to play it into the channel and hit his teammate Ike Duell. Goes out of bounds, and so it'll be a throw for Coon Rapids. Starters back out there for both teams. Both played their bench extensively. Freeman being grappled with. Second foul of the game earned by Coon Rapids. Pretty, not much to referee, but I think the refs have done a pretty good job.
I think so as well. Jerry Freeman, good athlete. Played basketball for the Cardinals. Played very valuable player for that team. He's a senior.
You love to see the multi-sport athletes.
Yes.
High school level.
Well, Jackson Young as well.
Chasing it down is Keegan Anderson on the far side. It'll be a Cardinals throw. Big Jackson Young in there as well. Nice target.
Nice crowd here tonight.
Yeah.
Well, they heard that was Bill Hupp was here, and so that usually doubles the gate when that happens.
They want to see if I do indeed look like that Coon Rapids assistant football coach as much as they've heard.
It's funny.
And yes, folks, the rumors are true.
Yes, you have a guy that I don't want to say a twin, but looks very much like you.
I have a tattooed doppelganger.
Yes, you do.
A Huppelganger?
Yeah, a Huppelganger. What you need to do, if hopefully I think you're going to be doing a game with us during the football season, you need to get some tattoo sleeves and put them on and come to the game and stand next to them. That's what you need.
That is an idea. There's a shot by Smith that is saved. Rising, diving to his right. And meanwhile, Felix Siafa thought he had been taken down, was looking for a penalty.
He was
but
pleading
none
his
came.
case. Let's take a look at it
See
again.
Here.
No, he just went down on his own. Hey, but you know what?
His shot, and then Karma, the shot hit him right there. Freeman battling up top, meanwhile, leaned on by Guadagno, and then Guadagno shoves him aside. Nothing doing there. Good play on by the ref. But it's a throw on the far side for the Cardinals. Yep, Siafa went down. You could see him just sort of drag his feet and go down looking for a penalty. And then the shot from Ethan Smith actually hit him and ricocheted into Luke Rising's arms.
I heard he's a theater minor.
Yeah, exactly. Smith knocks this one out into his own bench. So the Cardinals, a little more possession, a little more threat here in the second half. Jackson Young knocks it on for Freeman. Smith hooks it away. Siafa squeezed out by the captain, Andrew Hyatt. Here's Smith. A lot of room to run. Duell. Knocked around for Mance. Guadagno at midfield. Guadagno takes a touch. Lumps it forward looking for Siafa. It's knotted away. Smith tracks it down to the near side, and we'll watch it run out of play. 4 minutes gone by in the second half. Still just a one-goal game. Goes out of play on the far side for a goal kick. Girls game will immediately follow this one here at Cardinal Stadium as Tyler Seidel looks on. I wish he could give broadcasters a halftime pep talk. I bet he gives a good halftime pep talk.
Well, maybe we should recruit him to come up here and pump us up.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Or maybe between games, he can give us a between game pep talk.
Yeah.
You guys got it. Dig deep.
It's just a rule. Guys with beards are always inspirational.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What about mustaches? They're partly inspirational.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are. Sometimes we are. Sometimes we're not.
How do you feel about the young guy mustache trend? I mean, you're now a trendsetter. It's come all the way back around.
Oh yeah, no. It's usually I call it the Howie Shapiro starter kit. In fact, they were selling them up in New Hope for a while at the CVS store.
There's a cross. It's loose in front. Rising comes out. He collides with Duel, and he gets there first. And that, Howie, is what we talked about with the aggressiveness of the Cardinals co-captain.
Absolutely.
Taking it off the toes of Duel before he could do anything. You see the cross coming in beautifully from Mance. It evaded Siafa, and it got away. And fortunately for the Cardinals, it rolls into the arms of Rising, who is there. Now Freeman battling for it on the far side. Again, just no support for Jerry Freeman up. He's kind of on his own. There's Jackson Young. He'll take a shot from distance.
Went off the crossbar.
And it went off the crossbar and in. There was an ooh and ah, and I was waiting to see what the reaction was for. But yes, it went off the crossbar and then into the back of the net. As you see Andrew Hyatt laughing.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, that was Andrew Hyatt who lasered it. And it went over. I mean, Carlson's a tall keeper, but that would have been a goal of the season candidate for sure. Forward for Siafa. Got arm wrestling with his defender up there. Smith. Mance. Duel battling with Jackson Young in his pink boots. Tracks all the way to Guadagno. Yeah, they need push forward to not leave Freeman quite so much on his own. Mance on the turn. Crimson assessing their options into the channel for Siafa. Finally cleared on the far side by Hyatt. It'll be a Crimson throw. As you see the shot here from Hyatt.
That's just great.
Off the crossbar. And I hesitated because I thought maybe that had gone in off of his back and in, and it did actually. That's actually what happened. How if you watch the replay, it went off of the goalie's back and into the goal,
right.
but it didn't hit the crossbar. It hit the football crossbar.
Right.
Meanwhile, we've got our first Cardinals corner of the game coming up. Or excuse me, that's a Maple Grove corner. I'm all discombobulated as Ike Duel will take the 7th corner of the game for the Crimson. The far post, and it's steered in. Steered in beautifully there by big number 2, Owen Bersham.
They're saying that
they're waving it off.
The Cardinals were complaining about something. I didn't see what.
Is there a foul in the offing? Did he commit a foul? The referee's coming over to talk to the side official. Not up on the scoreboard yet. Nope, they do give it. So Bersham gets the goal as he was left all alone. Bersham.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were talking about, why they would consider waving it off, but.
Great ball by Duel, who's now got a goal and an assist. And actually, Bersham's taking credit for the goal, but I think it was actually steered in by another Crimson player. No, it was Bersham.
Yep.
Beg your pardon. Bersham did kind of shoulder that in.
He did. So that'll make it 3-1 now in favor of the Crimson. That's a big goal. Cardinals back to a two-goal deficit.
Just a little bit of breathing room. Duel now with a goal and an assist for the junior. Maybe he will be the one that kind of gets the takes over the scoring mantle from a Chris France, but you just don't replace your all-time leading scorer very easily.
You can't, and there were a couple other guys up front too that also left.
Yeah, there's a kid who's
graduated, I should say.
playing. Sheard is playing at Bethel, and actually one of the guys that graduated last year is going to school in Italy, and he's playing there, which is one way to do it.
It's a pretty good way to do it, I'd say. You get a lot of great competition in Italy.
Yeah. See, I would go to school in Italy just to eat.
Oh, you and me both.
Just to eat professionally. Club eating, is that a thing?
Yeah. I've always wanted to captain a gondola, and so I might go to Italy just for that reason alone.
You're like central casting for a gondola captain.
Yeah, exactly.
You would
put
be
that red striped shirt on me, and
that's right.
The black pants. And
I think it's the mustache.
It could be the mustache. Yeah,
sells.
absolutely.
Yeah. A pun-telling gondola captain.
That's right.
Into the channel. And nodded forward, but he misses. Colin Ames diving onto it, and he just nodded it past. That was a chance, though. As you see, great clipped ball over the top that Ames ran onto. Collided, rising, came off his line, but he didn't get there. Fortunately for the Cardinals, he was inaccurate with the header. Colin
it went wide, so they definitely fortunate for Coon Rapids.
Cardinals starting to control a little bit more in the midfield. Tyler Seidel excised over the
hit.
Will we see our first booking? Ref comes over.
Ooh.
Ref
warning him.
Telling Tyler he wants to hear no more.
Definitely. It's enough from him.
Yeah.
No soup for you.
It's 2 fouls apiece on each team, but I think Tyler's...
he's still drawing a little, I think.
Tyler's gripe. Well, will we see a card?
We might at this point. If the official walked back.
Yeah.
Or was he pointing at one of the players?
I'm not sure when it's called a foul why it's a throw-in.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was a foul, or maybe not. Maybe they didn't call it a foul. They must have just called it a going out of bounds. Oh, and maybe Tyler wanted the foul to be called on the Crimson.
Well, that's what I think he wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for the hit.
Ethan Smith crosses it beautifully. Siafa can't control it. Nice job there by
away.
Austin Hacker.
Caleb, there's got to be players behind the target. Center the target for him. There's got to be players behind it.
Another corner kick coming up here for Maple Grove. Unofficially the 8th of the game. Siafa swings his leg into that one, and it was always going away. Not a bad idea, not a bad attempt, but 28 minutes to go, second half, 3-1. Cardinals cut the deficit to 2-1 at halftime, going into halftime, but again, Maple Grove cushioned their lead with a goal off a corner kick. Guadagno bumping Freeman off the ball. And there is a real skill, Howie, to knowing how to use your physicality and your size to your advantage. That's what the Crimson are doing so far.
And they are. And again, they're doing so much well in all aspects of the game at this point. You know, outside of the fact how they gave up that one goal was a defensive miscue. Other than that, they've played pretty well.
Bounding ball falls for Jackson Young. He lumps it forward. I'd like to see Young in that instance take a touch and look, because just hoofing it forward off the side of his foot didn't do anything. Neil Hennon to the rescue up in the booth.
Yeah, our monitor went out and highlights Hennon does it all.
Yeah, that's right. He's not directing, he's saving the day.
He's the Swiss Army knife here at CTN.
I got to get one of those CTN capes he has.
Yeah, yep. Well, when is Edward Scissorhands for Halloween?
Guadagno takes a touch. Now he'll backtrack and go back through his keeper, Beckett Carlson. Maybe more of a game than Crimson expected to get.
Well, we talked about at the opening that the fact that the Crimson just beat Coon Rapids 2-0 a year ago with, as you mentioned, a team that was 18-3 and finished 4th in the state. So they gave the Crimson all they can handle.
Ames to Siafa. The attack for Maple Grove seems to be a lot more narrow in this second half. Young's pass taken back by Ames. Ames gets it. And it doesn't seem to be as much substituting in this second half, although still just 15 minutes in. Ames for Siafa. At a certain point, you do want your core group to get comfortable playing with each other.
Yes, especially this early in the season.
Yeah.
But, you know, when the Crimson substituted a little more freely in the first half, they had jumped out to a quick 2-0 lead, so I think maybe the coaches felt that this is an opportunity to get some of the younger guys. And now they're back to a 2-goal lead, but I think the fact that it was close and 2-1 at the break, a little more concentration on that starting unit.
Ames fouled by Kish.
Down goes Ames.
Duel stands over this free kick to the top of the box and knotted out of play for a goal kick. Duel having himself a nice game with a goal and an assist. He opened the scoring for Maple Grove and assisted then on the goal in the second half by defender Owen Bersham. Both of those guys juniors, so again the depth throughout the program as Bersham and Guadagno play catch. Jackson Young starts to press up. And that's the thing, is it's a risk-reward thing, because you don't want to get too much time and space and comfort on the ball, but you also don't want to press too aggressively and then just have them pass it around you.
Right.
Ames tries a little give and goal with Duel, and it's cut out. Freeman might get there first. Instead, there's a foul.
You're going to call that on Freeman?
And Freeman was really in a tough position, having to play so isolated up top. Third foul of the day on the Cardinals. I'm surprised that Maple Grove is not just playing it short and content to possess, but they are working on their long balls. As Guadagno goes for goal, Rising comes out, and that's pitch and catch for him.
Yes, it is.
Neither team, in fact, has made a substitution. We're nearly midway through the second half. It's off the head of Gautam Barani. So now Coon Rapids can push up and bring some numbers up. Trying to claw this back to a single goal game. Ames loses out to Young. Oh, nice move to chop it by Landon Wolf. Out of bounds on the far side. So, yeah, definitely things to build off of, positives to build off of for Tyler Seidel, no matter how this game ends, as Noah Askap, the sophomore striker returns. Kassup wearing those orange boots. And substitutions for Maple Grove as well, as Devin O'Callahan takes a breather.
See, just when you talked about neither team making a substitution, they make a substitution. They must have been listening to you.
Eventually they were going to.
They must have been listening to you. Hupp says we haven't done it. We better get to it.
That's right.
We better Hupp to it.
And why make one when you can make Hupp 2, 3, and 4?
Exactly.
You know? Ames has it taken off his toes initially by Wolf, but he's one of the guys I'm talking about when I talk about the poise that the Crimson show on the ball. Wolf, as the whistle stops play, and it's going to be a foul on Maple Grove.
Well, you talked about earlier too that the Crimson will be happy just passing the ball around, looking for the opportunity, taking time off the clock with a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, certainly no rush.
Nope.
In the nightcap, it'll be Coon Rapids girls opening the season against Maple Grove. Crimson coming off a 5-0 defeat at Wayzata on Saturday in their season opener.
Well, the Cardinals opened their season with a 1-1 tie against Sago Lakes, and then the girls anyway, and then dropped their second game 4-0 on Saturday to Mounds View.
No shame in that. The Mustangs historically a pretty strong program, so they're 0-1-1. Their home opener. Knotted down nicely by Hyatt. Now back out to Mance. There's a shot from distance, rising, diving to his right. Siafa claiming he got a touch, and it is going to be a goal kick. That shot was hammered from distance.
Yes, it was. They're trying to find that far corner of the net.
Max Johnson, one of the goal scorers, had goal number 2 of the first half for Maple Grove. Pretty quiet otherwise. And here's the goal scorer for the Cardinals. Re-entering the ball game, Fidel Dequamano. Giving Jerry Freeman a breather. Akasa. Harani beats him to it. Maple Grove just not as crisp in this half.
No.
And that's certainly a credit to Coon Rapids as Dequamano forces Maple Grove and Max Johnson to go back to Carlson, who's really just been a distributor more than anything. No official saves yet for him. Here's Ames dropping it for Duel. Tries to give it back to Ames. It's cut out. Good recovery, though, by Maple Grove.
They do a nice job of moving the ball around.
Oh, yeah. Barani. Akasa knotted down. Gavin Chabika in there. Chabika still has it. And finally swept away by Coon Rapids, only as far as Bersham, the second half goal scorer for Maple Grove. 3-1 our score, nearing 18 minutes to go, second half. And what has become a beautiful night here in the late summer. Barani, little give and go. Barani forces his way into the box. Smith has his cross deflected. Throw for the Crimson as they get set to make a whole host of substitutions. And based on the subs alone, I feel like the Curly, I don't even know, the Fro is back.
Hey, I always say
it's a good look. It's a good look.
I always say what was old is now new, and it's given
That's right.
The clothing and the styles when I was a kid.
Mustaches.
When I was a kid, is now back. Like, I haven't seen bell bottoms, but
it's only a matter of time.
I think they do have them.
There's a cross in, loose in the box. Cardinals get to it first. Frank Miller, one of the substitutes, sporting the bouncy curls. Ames. Cut out by Austin Hacker. Beautifully done there by Noah Hughes, the defender. Johnson. Such tight triangles as Hughes keeps it in bounds on the near side. Maple Grove just getting to those 50-50 balls. Chibika grazes the outside of the right post.
Well, again, we talked about they do a good job moving the ball around and looking for that opportunity. And there's Chibika doing a nice job, just couldn't get it on net. But again, they get that, they move the ball around and he gets that quick shot off.
And he's not on the score sheet, but I do feel like Caleb Mance, who I think I've been calling Ames the entire second half.
Oh, is that what you're calling Ames?
Caleb Mance.
Ames,
It's
man.
the first
It's
game.
close. It's close.
First game of the season,
that's
folks.
right.
I do apologize. At least it looks good.
It does.
The broadcast.
It does. It sounds good as well.
Yeah, thank you. The Caleb Mance has really controlled things in that central midfield for Maple Grove, and he's really pulling the strings, even though he doesn't have a goal or assist to his name. Guadagno has actually moved to the left side now, to the near side, after being on the right. Miller has taken over now at the right fullback position. Lofted in, and Rising is there to collect. And again, the instincts to come and claim it on a cross like that, it's just something that comes with experience. Watham Barani. Near side for Hughes. Mance, or as some people know him, Ames.
Ames.
This is Mance. Into the channel. He's only Maple Grove's most important player.
Who Ames?
I guess. 15 minutes to go, second half. Oh.
Well, there is an Ames on their squad. 21, Colin Ames.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not totally out of left field.
No.
Oh, nice job sweeping it away to prevent a corner, unless it. Nope. Might have gone out of play for a corner. Caleb Mance. I'm sure Colin Ames is a fine player as well.
I'm sure he is.
But, you know,
he's on the bench right now.
He's his own man. Yeah, nice job by the Cardinals defense to prevent the corner as Hughes gets it in. Cross to the far post, a looping high cross. Beautifully done, and Rising right there. Just had to drop to make the save, and fortunately for the Cardinals, he did. And that was about the only place he couldn't kick it.
Well, Rising has definitely kept them in this game.
Oh, without question. Mason Reed with a golden opportunity to make it 4-1. And 4-1 at this point with 12 minutes to go about. That probably would have been just about it. As it stands, Cardinals still with a chance as Austin Hacker can't control it and runs out of play over the end line.
Well, yeah, they just have to get possession away from the Crimson. And again, watch this save. It's right out top.
And that was beautifully done. As you see, he knocked it back, and he pulled it back right into the path of his teammate. And Reed, the one-time volley, but just couldn't get enough on it. Had to side foot it. Mason Johnson will take the corner from the far side. 9th Crimson corner of the contest. Swings it in. Scored off the last corner they took. Beautifully done there by number 31 for Maple Grove, Colin Merritt, sophomore forward. And again, it's going to be a corner. We're in about the worst vantage point to see much of what's happening with that end of the field. To the front post, nice job by Akasip. You really have to attack those headers off the corner to be the first one there, and Akasip read it well and made the play. Now his head's hurting from it. Driven in low. Back out to Johnson. He'll put in another cross to the top of the box, and that one's headed out of play by Johnson.
Yeah, pretty harmless header there by the Crimson as we see the clock ticking away on Coon Rapids.
Coon Rapids, credit to their defense, credit to Luke Rising for keeping this score manageable. But yeah, absolutely.
Well, they offensively just haven't been able
No.
to do anything at all today.
They haven't possessed the ball. They haven't really taken any shots. They took advantage of their opportunity to get the goal that they got late in the first half, but otherwise it's been pretty one-way traffic here this afternoon, to be honest. And Maple Grove's going to do that to a lot of teams this year.
Yeah, and again, now that they see the time ticking away, they're just going to move the ball around the field, take time off the clock with that 2-goal lead.
Teams like Andover expected to challenge the Crimson for the Northwest Suburban Conference crown. As Johnson with acres of space to run into. Weaving away from his defender. Johnson takes a shot, not much on it though, and it dribbles harmlessly past Luke Rising's left post.
On the key for the Crimson is just possession for here tonight. I mean, they've possessed the ball down in the Cardinal end most the entire evening.
Crimson have come at the Cardinals in waves. Some might say a crimson tide.
Ah, very nice. A sea of red. A sea of crimson.
As their head coach, co-head coach, Greg Leininger, looks on.
And Justin Turner, the gentleman with the black shirt and the beard.
Yeah, the Maple Grove coach is interestingly wearing green shirts. I'm not sure if that's so the kids can easily identify them or so they can go scout incognito. Who knows? But
Where is Incognito?
what is incognito?
No, where?
Where?
You said they were going to scout there.
Oh, incognito.
Oh. I've not heard of that.
It's
Just
hard.
south of
it's-
Wayzata,
Well,
actually.
it's a hard town to find.
It is definitely. It's hidden. It's hidden.
It's sleepy. You blink and you miss it.
Yep.
Max Johnson, nifty little Cruyff turn. That phrase, first and only time it'll be used on a broadcast.
Incognito?
For Coon Rap. No, a Cruyff turn.
Oh.
The famed Dutch striker Johan Cruyff. That's my Hup hipster reference of the day. Johnson tries to switch play. Again, Maple Grove so active, just first to these balls as Austin Hacker intercepts. Coon Rapids playing some nice football, though.
They
As
are.
a little 1-2. Guadagno will go back to his keeper, and this time Carlson wisely backpedaling so as not to have a repeat of the first half mistake. Not sure how a Maple Grove, looked to me like a Maple Grove player jumped into a Coon Rapids player, but the Cardinals whistled for the foul. Their third foul of the half. Each team now with 4 unofficially. As time is ticking away, we're down near 8 minutes remaining second half. Don't forget the girls game will follow.
It will.
Howie and I on the call for that one. Maple Grove 0-1 on the season. Coon Rapids 0-1-1.
It's
Both
just-
teams looking for their first win.
It's just soccer all the time here tonight for us at CTN.
The doubleheader really kind of came into fashion pandemic times, and
Right.
don't hate it. Foul called on the Crimson, so it'll be a free kick from the top of the box for Luke Rising. Couple Maple Grove subs preparing to enter the game. Flicked on by Akasip. These are valuable minutes for kids like him that are needing that varsity experience, and he is active. Guadagno switches for Miller. Akasip trying to get there first. Barani. Johnson on the turn. Nifty footwork to get it wide for Hughes. Hughes lowers his shoulder. Johnson takes a touch. Well defended there by Austin Hacker. But again, Maple Grove content just to knock it around and attack on one side, attack on the other. Rolls out of bounds on the far side. So Howie, if you are Coach Tyler Seidel for the Cardinals, what positives are you taking away from this game? May not earn anything from it, but what positives are you taking
Your back
away?
end, I think you have to. The fact
Yeah.
that your defense played so well and Rising played really well in goal, I think those are the things. It's just, struggling offensively, and we saw a lot of that last year, and it's starting to continue here early on, but it's early, Bill, and there's opportunities to work on your game on that side of the ball, offensively anyway.
Great battle here. Stolen away. And then Carlson, well off his line, will just lay it off. But a great job by Edwin Boyce to put pressure on Guadagno. Pretty sure Guadagno has not come out of this soccer game. Into the channel as Maple Grove continues to attack. Good step by Barani. Johnson through midfield. Long range effort. No trouble at all for Luke Rising. Maple Grove has proven willing to shoot from distance, but they haven't really tested Luke Rising from that standpoint. I think that double save may be his best of the game, though.
I agree.
Could have been a shove in the back, no call. So Guadagno carries up the near side in front of his own bench. Johnson again allowed to turn with tons of space. Jarrett charging from the far side and doesn't get much on the shot. I have long ago lost track of how many shots Maple Grove has.
Well, according to the scoreboard, it says 13.
I've got 10 on goal.
Yeah, this is 13 shots on goal, it says there. It says just one for the Cardinals.
Boyce had a step, but then the long legs of number 18, Gavin Chabika, caught up with him. Boyce charging into Guadagno, who hip checked him off, and now Boyce a little shaken up as Guadagno whistled for the foul. That's all you want to do if you're Edwin Boyce, is put yourself about, make yourself a nuisance, earn the fouls and the free kicks if you can, and make something happen. So,
that's what the Cardinals need here with 4:08 remaining.
So a chance here for Coon Rapids to get one back, as you see Guadagno just step into him, and Boyce selling the contact. A little short free kick here. Center by Hacker. And another foul called, this time bit of a coming together. This time the foul called on Colin Merritt.
And Maple Grove does not need to be chippy in this situation up by 2 goals.
Free kick coming here from AJ Suave, and nearly connected with the on-rushing attacker. I believe that was maybe Mitchell Gulbranson who tried to get on the end of that, but what a ball in by Suave.
Yeah,
nearly flicked on by Gulbranson.
Yeah, he just couldn't get the head on it.
Carlson let it go. A couple more fresh bodies on for Maple Grove as they try to see this one out with just under 3 minutes left to play. Hughes clashing with Hacker. Cardinals and Coach Tyler Seidel continue to scrap late. Guadagno over for Jarrett.
Well, anytime you take on a team the quality of Maple Grove, there are a lot of learning experiences for you, and I think Coach Seidel will take a lot of these things that they've done here today and continue to build for the future with them.
Yep. And certain teams get really good and really comfortable playing without having much of the ball. They want the other team to possess. They want the other team to have the lion's share of the ball, and then they hope to just spring the counterattack and hit them on the counterattack, and that's what they've done. Is Nathan Avern has seen quite a few minutes, inside of 2 minutes left to play here at Cardinals Stadium. Barring something miraculous, Cardinals will fall to 0-1 As Rising comes and collects, Maple Grove will stay perfect on the season and move to 2-0.
Well, if this is the way it finishes, the Cardinals can certainly not hang their heads. They've had some positive things, even though they've only been able to get one tally here this afternoon. It's just the fact that they've learned. They know they can play good, solid defense, and they have a solid keeper.
Well, one way to look at it is outside of the first 7 minutes when the Crimson struck twice,
Yep.
they have played Maple Grove even
Yes, they have.
for the other 73 if it ends 3-1. Crimson continue to knock it around. Shot from distance, and Rising ushers it past. 1 minute left in the game. Mason Reed again searching for that first goal of the season. Talking to Coach Seidel before the game as you take a look at the Coon Rapids Cardinals girls team. They'll take the field next, 30 seconds remaining. They lost a couple key practice days because of heat. They treated it like a snow day.
No, they did, because we were actually in the gym going to be filming the volleyball preview, and we didn't know that they had canceled. It was like that last Wednesday and Thursday they had canceled practice because of the heat.
So that cost them some preparation time, and so still feeling things out here as time expires in Coon Rapids at Cardinals Stadium. Cardinals battle, but ultimately fall short by a final of 3-1.
Well, tough way to drop your opener, but nothing. As we talked about, they'll learn from this loss, and they held a pretty good team to a 3-1 win, and this is something that they'll continue to grow with.
Maple Grove improves to 2-0 on the season. Cardinals in their opening game fall to 0-1. Crimson got 2 goals in the first 7 minutes and kind of cruised from there, but Cardinals take a lot of positives, including the play of the defense and goaltender Luke Rising. They'll lean on that defense throughout the year as they continue to look for ways to find offense. So that'll do it for us here at Cardinals Stadium. I'd like to thank Director Joel Sipper and our entire CTN crew. For my broadcast partner, Howie Shapiro, I'm Bill Hupp saying good night from Coon Rapids. Cardinals fall in a tough one to Maple Grove by a final of 3-1. Welcome to Cardinals Stadium on a gorgeous summer evening. The sun is setting here in Coon Rapids as the Cardinals host the Crimson in their home opener for 2023. Good evening, everybody. I'm Bill Hupp alongside Howie Shapiro as you take a look at Anna Langworthy, who will not be playing today because she injured herself in the warm-up. So instead, I believe Kaylee Stegman will take her place.
Yes, she will.
So that's a loss for the Cardinals.
Yeah, we hope she's okay, and maybe she'll see a little action. Maybe she just needs to kind of get it worked out. But Coach Benson came up to me and said there is a change in the starting lineup.
Yep, you never like to start with breaking news.
Nope, unless it's good.
Especially that. So number 3 is.
This is like Bill Hupp wins an Emmy. That's good breaking news.
Yeah, that's right. Colorful shoes with those black uniforms for Coon Rapids.
Love it.
Maple Grove, meanwhile, wearing the white kits with the maroon lettering and numerals. As you take a look at Kaylee Stegman, the freshman who will take the place of the co-captain for the Cardinals in the lineup. Cardinals 0-1-1 on the season. They drew with Chisago Lakes, coming back in the last couple minutes to draw with the Wildcats, and then they lost to a very good Mounds View team on the road 4-0. Meanwhile, Maple Grove comes in with a record of 0-1. Crimson, historically a very strong program in the Northwest Suburban Conference, but they got hammered by Wayzata on Saturday, 5-0. It probably says a lot about Wayzata as a team. Crimson led by Ben Levon and Gene Viardin. As you take a look at those two gentlemen in ball caps on the bench, and Ben Benson, the head boss, the new head boss in charge of the Cardinals, and we'll see him tonight. And
we're
mistaking him when you see him.
No, we got to have, he's a great guy. We got to interview. Yeah, we got to interview him on our show a few weeks back, and as one of the new Cardinal coaches in the program. There is Coach Benson, and he's a lot of fun. Really, really a nice guy, and was a fun interview. And we got a chance to talk, and he's very, very willing to help us out here at CTN anytime we need it.
Yep, absolutely. Cardinals will kick it off to start things as we're underway here. And the light's not on yet as the daylight fades here at Cardinals Stadium. And something Ben Benson talked about as you see the starters for the Crimson and Cardinals respectively down below. But something he talked about was just the compete level and wanting to make sure that his girls competed as they have the first couple games. It's a promising start, but this is the home opener, and you want to come out on the front foot, and so far the Cardinals are doing just that as we are just underway here in Coon Rapids.
Coach Benson said he was happy with the first two matches of the season for his squad, as being the new coach here. Especially in that Chisago Lakes, felt they really dominated, but unfortunately couldn't get the win.
Great job by Angelina LeClaire for the Cardinals to block that cross coming in. But we've got a foul whistled here. As again, you take a look at Ben Benson and his faded Tampa Bay Devil Rays or Durham Bulls hat.
Yeah, I think is that a Durham Bulls hat?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
It's an old Devil Rays.
It is a Devil Rays hat. That's great. I love it. I guess I didn't notice it the first time.
Shot on net. Stella Bone watches that sail over. First foul called on either team. And that shot from distance as you take a look at the starters led by Stella Bone, the sophomore goalkeeper who has been in net 2-year starter. I believe she started as an 8th grader.
Yeah, she's been in the program for a while, correct.
Yep. There's a cross, and Bone goes down to her right to collect it. Cross coming in from the right side. So it'll be interesting to see how this game plays out between these two teams that are still seeking their first win of the season.
Been texting a little bit with my broadcast partner, Joe Yend. I believe he's watching the game, and just got home from the fair where he's in a food coma. And he didn't just eat food at the fair. He did work while he was there, and that's why he's not here tonight. But we have a big show tomorrow that we're doing. We're doing our preview show. He's diligently working at those scripts and getting them ready for tomorrow. So we thank him for his work.
Well, Joe, if you're watching, hello. We're doing our best to fill your shoes tonight.
That's hard to do. Remember, children's size 14, is that I think what it was? Yeah.
Yeah. 2 Joe Yun shoe references in one in each broadcast. You got to love it. Dancing on the far side, losing the ball momentarily, Abby Oakland, the junior, also a member of the Crimson hockey team that's a perennial powerhouse in the girls on the girls' side. Nice job coming over and knocking it out of play. Caitlin Griffith wearing number 14 for the Cardinals. Lost momentarily. Raya Lloyd sends it in.
Offside,
Riley Lloyd,
yeah.
and our first offside whistled on Tatum Munn, who could not hold up a run. No offside whistled in the boys' game
I was
at all,
just
which
going to
was
say that.
surprising.
It was surprising, but and that was a fun game. You know, it didn't come out on the top of the Cardinals side, but I thought they played well. We talked about the boys. Solid defense, solid goaltending for sure. They just couldn't get anything done offensively.
Cardinals falling 3-1 in the boys' game in the opener as Bailey Rue, one of the junior captains, takes the free kick. Good interception there by Sophia Bakri. Near side for Caitlin Griffith. Still in the 80s here at kickoff, but clear. There's a cross put in the box by number 17, Grace Stevenson, whose brother was with the boys program until this year. Now he's playing for the Minnesota United Academy team. And
Correct.
talking to their head coach, Tyler Seidel, before the game, the boys, I mean, he said it was the right decision for him.
A tough one to
Yeah.
lose them.
Yeah,
nonetheless,
absolutely.
But
Parents are very active in the programs, and Grace is obviously a big part of things as the senior striker on this team. Foul called on Caitlin Clough. So already a pretty physical game. Each 2 fouls now on Maple Grove and 1 on Coon Rapids. And so number 17, Grace Stevenson, and the aforementioned Stevenson standing over it. Stevenson goes for goal and shoots it wide, but certainly plenty of leg to get it there. Diana Park, the other netminder, opposite Stella Bone. As you take a look at the sophomore, probably future captain of Coon Rapids, you would think, if she sticks with it. Laid off nicely. Nice 1-2 play. Stevenson takes a shot. That's a one bouncer into the arms of Diana Park.
did they make a change in goal? Because that's not who they told me originally that they were playing. They said that they're. Did you say Diana Park?
I did say Diana Park. Is it Bella? Is it Bella Hanna?
No. My bad.
Okay.
You are correct. I was incorrect, which doesn't happen very often. Usually just 4 or 5 times a day. But I was. I thought you said another name, and I apologize.
Oh yeah, no. Nice little give and go. Good team play. Good team football. And speaking of team football, that's something that in talking to Ben Levan for Maple Grove before the game, he wanted to see. He wanted to see his team a little more organized. And he wanted to see him. Just play that sort of little football better, little soccer, little passages of play. As it's booted forward, intercepted by Lydia Zarafa, the sophomore at midfield. Good control there by Griffith, but then turned over to Zarafa. Cardinals, again, have been on the front foot, though, pressuring now as Abby Toso, the Minnesota State Moorhead-bound fullback, plays it back. Then it's intercepted in the midfield. That'll be a good battle between Toso and Stevenson. Danger is cleared only as far as Rue. Foul from behind. Juna Kang committing the infraction. Already the third foul on the Crimson.
Yeah, we didn't see a lot of fouls in that first game with the boys, but now, as you mentioned, already 3 here. And not a lot of time has gone by here in the first half, so it's a little chippy play early on.
Or just maybe a tighter whistle from a different
Maybe
official.
that could be
it
that
as
could be
well.
it. Yeah, absolutely.
Kang. Harlan Yang Win battling as well on the far side. Crimson get a step. The cross just out of the reach of Riley Lloyd, and she watches it go out of play. Lloyd stepped to it and nearly got a touch as she was crashing far post. Crimson defense lost her on the far side.
Really good initial surge there. And again, that just a little bit too much there, but she was all alone in front of that net. If they were able to put it on her, that may have very well led to a Crimson goal.
Foul called again, and so turns back over. But yeah, all she needed to do really was settle it. She had all kinds of time if she had just settled it and then taken a touch. Fortunately for Coon Rapids, she didn't, and the Cardinals, able to regroup defensively. Rue, near side Griffith. Up for Stevenson. Laid back for Callie Alphin, the freshman. Alyssa Baranek, the junior, drops it back. Now the Crimson trying to enjoy a sustained spell of possession. Kang with the turn.
Both teams here early on getting a little bit of possession in each other's ends. Just one shot on goal apiece for these two squads so far early on.
LeClaire, neatly done to get away from the pressure of Maple Grove. This is Griffith turning with all kinds of time and space. Decides to switch the field. Lumped forward for Stevenson to chase onto. Caitlin Clough trying to shield her away from it, and they go tumbling to the deck, and that's going to be a foul and a free kick for Coon Rapids, and really kind of a needless foul because Clough had shepherded her over to the sideline. She wasn't in any kind of danger. And indeed it is going to, well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a free kick. That was the initial indication.
Looks like it.
Marching off 10 yards. Stevenson goes for goal. Out of the hands, in and out of the hands of the netminder Park. And it goes out of play for the first corner of the game. That'll go to the Cardinals. Well played by Sophia Bakri, who just kind of shielded it off and didn't get the start, but here comes Anna Langworthy into the game, the captain. Good to see her having worked out her lower body injury before the game.
She's important to their cause, and definitely her to be back in there or in there is great.
Cut out by Lloyd. And now, Maple Grove will try to break. Well defended, though, by the Cardinals on the far side. Nice play by Yang Win.
Another whistle.
I didn't want to get into it at being almost too wonky a soccer conversation, but the amount of foul throws that could have been called in the boys' game, it could have been 75% of the throws.
Right.
Where they did not, stop, bring the ball back behind their head. They just kind of
toss it.
And refs should call that, but they don't. And so I think that was just a matter right there of, as Maple Grove makes its first substitutions of the game. Alyssa Baranek coming out. But that one they probably just came up too far.
Well, it is the same officiating staff as the first game.
Yeah, but just
they changed position.
Yeah, exactly. A side judge now.
Yep.
Side judge, or is that a tennis reference?
It'll fly. Let me ask the judges. Oh, they say they'll accept it as an answer.
Speaking of tennis, that's coming up on CTN
We have some
in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think so. We have some tennis
How's that
action.
for a
yeah,
programming plug?
yeah, absolutely.
September 14th. Mr. Neil Hennon tells me against Centennial.
Yeah, should be a good one.
Yund and Howie Shapiro on
Schwab.
the account.
I know you were going to say
I
it.
almost said
I know
Schwab.
you were going to say it. You can blame me. I put it in your head.
Oh. As long as I get the names of the players right.
Right. You know, you can
That's
just
the
call me
most
Howie.
important thing. My guy Howie. That's
right.
That's what it'll be.
That's fine with me.
Now Maple Grove starting to enjoy a little more of the ball. Good ball movement here near side for Lloyd with plenty of space. Closed down quickly though by Griffith. Little 1-2 hits a cutting Kang. Kang from distance, and Bone slides over and makes the comfortable save.
Yeah, again, neither team really mounting anything offensively.
It's been a nip and tuck affair so far, as they say. Stevenson jostled off the ball. Still in the possession of the Cardinals, though. Park comes out and just gets there ahead of the onrushing Cardinal attacker. Griffith, that hit her hand, but play on, says the ref. Back for Rue. The junior captain takes the space. She and Griffith play catch. Got a nice steal there by number 10, Jessica Lee, the freshman. Now an opportunity here for Maple Grove. Cross comes in and just over the onrushing Tatum Munn. A great ball played across by Abby Oakland, but it goes out. Almost too unselfish there,
Yeah,
maybe.
they spaced that one really well, too. Again, that just, and she was there, and if they put it on her foot, that's a goal.
Well, you could have taken your time so much more, as Oakland almost kind of rushed it and then just overhit it.
Yeah, because there's no defender on her.
No. Yeah, she had time. I think sometimes there's more time and space. Kids have more time and space than they realize. But you get in the box and you feel like you have to go quickly. Kang, good slide tackle to take it away by Bakri initially. Now Kang recovers, plays a through ball, but Bone off her line, snags it.
Well, again, Maple Grove trying to step up play here a little bit. Still plenty of time remaining in this opening half, 24-20.
Not even midway through as Lee gets it wide to Oakland. Dropped back. Now Maple Grove starting to ping it around a little bit. Lee takes a touch, fires from distance, and just flashes it wide.
Bone had to get to her right. Yeah, fortunately for her, it was just a little bit wide.
Lee with the confidence to cut in on her right foot and take that shot from a good 7-8 yards beyond the box, beyond the 18-yard box. And that had some mustard on it, but it goes wide. So now Coon Rapids a little bit on their heels in the last 5 minutes. Some good substitutions for the Crimson. Injected a little life into their offense as Kang throws in. Cardinals trying to push up, but Kang recovers. Lloyd, all kinds of space, wearing those pink boots. Gives it back for Kang on the inside. Switch to a cutting Abby Oakland. Lee from distance hits her teammate. Comes right back to her. Tripped just outside the box, but no call. Well defended by Coon Rapids, but Lee comes back and takes it away. Field starting to slant eastward.
Yes, it is.
Nice little turn there by Munn, but too heavy on the pass.
Still just one shot on goal apiece.
Yeah, no, there hasn't.
Hasn't been, you know, really, although you mentioned it, a little more possession down in the Cardinal end for the Crimson, but really no threats offensively yet.
Owen and Park have made a save apiece. They've also been pretty involved, respectively, in corralling loose balls. Lee has been really impressive in her brief stint in central midfield. She loses it there. Bakri fighting hard and wins possession. Maple Grove fans wanted a foul, but none coming. Ooh, nifty little back heel. Stays in, and Bakri sweeps it central. Cut out nicely, though, by Amelia Germanson. Kang. Near side for Lloyd. Griffith intercepts, or rather, that's Rue intercepting. This is Griffith.
And Maple Grove defensively does a good job of stopping up.
Yep, Germanson gets it wide. Now the Crimson trying to attack. Lee with all kinds of space gets it near side for Lloyd. Riley Lloyd blows past her defender, ducks her shoulder down. Lloyd into the box. Had a nice job by, I believe, Angeline Leclerc to come over.
Yeah, again, just a really good defensive play by Leclerc. She came and took away an opportunity for the Crimson.
Already the 5th foul of the half on the Crimson. Leclerc reading that one well, and great intervention, and then cutting it back and fouled clearly by Lloyd. Just about halfway through this first half, as a couple substitutions for the Cardinals, including number 7, Tessa Delfrat. Delfratti? Delfrat.
I believe so. The Frat.
Throw in for Caitlin Clough on the near side. Gets it in for Lee. Clough. Taken off her toes by Griffith, but she recovers. Oh, nasty little give and go with Lola Hetland. Her cross is redirected off the crossbar.
Wow. Fortunately for the Cardinals, there wasn't a Crimson player right there in front.
Coon Rapids boys almost scored an own goal early, and that time the girls flirting with danger. Griffith comes all the way out to her at the top of the box, and now she'll carry it down the right side. Yeah, just some of those mishits, you never know with the spin where that ball's going to go. Unfortunately for Coon Rapids, it went off the crossbar and not in the net. Played out on the far side by Coon Rapids, and now the Cardinals can regroup. Angelina Leclerc thanking her lucky stars as nifty little give and go here down the down line for Maple Grove, and then that clearance attempt by Leclerc with her left foot off the crossbar, and she is breathing a sigh of relief more than anyone.
Yes, she is. You do not want to score an own goal.
Bakri, who was really good last year for the Cardinals, her return is really critical. The fact that she came back, had a great sophomore campaign. This is Lee into the channel trying to hit Lloyd, running onto it. Lloyd has a step and a goal.
And again, just a nice play, and she was able to put it to the far side of that net, Bill, and not much Stella Bone could do about it. And she just used her speed to get behind the defense, and then that soft little kick across to found the back of the far side of the net, and the Crimson up 1-0.
Beautiful through ball initially played for Lloyd to run onto. She took a touch and then outside of the boot past a diving Stella Bone, who got a fingertip to it, but it was not enough to keep it out. A very nice goal indeed for Maple Grove, and they lead it 1-0. That goal coming at the 18-minute mark, or with 18 minutes exactly left to go. And now Maple Grove looking for a second as Hetland tracks it down, but she's shepherded out, and first corner of the game now for Maple Grove. I think it was Lee who made the initial pass. We'll double check that at halftime, but yeah, Riley Lloyd getting the goal, and another goal turned in off the corner by the Crimson. They've scored twice in 39 seconds. That one off the head of Abby Oakland.
And the corner kick was perfect, and Oakland was right there to head it in. But yeah, it all starts with that perfect corner kick.
Yeah, beautiful corner from Hetland.
Yep, and watch right off the head into her far side of the net.
Yeah, and you know, not textbook, but certainly a really well executed at the near post. Just kind of flicked it on top of her head. And Abby Oakland has turned this game around just like that. Crimson strike twice in less than a minute to take a 2-0 lead. It's kind of a replica of the boys' game in some ways.
Yep, because Maple Grove did start out with that 2-0 lead relatively early. Earlier than this, though. I think it was in the first 7 minutes, I believe.
Lola Hetland, the senior, getting credit for the assist, and she did put it on a platter for Oakland to
She certainly did.
To redirect in. And you know, nothing that Coon Rapids could do. They had players on the line, but it just kind of, that header sort of just looped in over the defenders for the Cardinals, and it's always a dangerous time after you score. You don't want to give up a game-tying goal or give up another goal, but it can snowball on you is the point I'm trying to make.
It definitely can, and you know, a quick second goal really puts the momentum squarely right into the court of the Crimson.
Oakland overhits that cross. Goes out of bounds for a Cardinals throw as Ben Levon pleased with what he's seen.
Well, how could you not? You know, good start for his Crimson.
Jean Viarden. Oh, nice turn there by Hallie Q. Or beg your pardon, that was Maya Thomas, the freshman for Coon Rapids. Good step on the far side by the Cardinals. Amelie Germanson regains control, but then right away Maple Grove was on it, earned that corner, and then from the corner, the set piece defense, always a key. Now Maple Grove looking to counter again. Oakland on her left foot, weaving through defenders, just trying to look for some maroon and white support. Out of bounds, a Cardinals throw on the far side. Cardinals, it feels like, had some offensive momentum in the first 15-20 minutes of the game, but that has dissipated. And again, Maple Grove has had the better of play for probably the last 10 minutes at least.
Angelina Leclerc getting a little attention on the sideline from trainer Jeremy Shepard. We saw Langworthy not start this contest because of a soft tissue situation, but thankfully she's back in.
Yeah, she is a very important player as obviously as a co-captain for this team. Bakri getting set to re-enter for Coon Rapids, and they need her in the central midfield as well. Recovery by Clough. Pass into the channel for Hetland to run onto. Hetland's had numbers in front, and probably not the right decision with a couple Crimson running in the far post. Into the game for the first time is, I don't know, number 23. We don't have a 23 on our roster, unfortunately. I won't lie to the viewers. 23 for the Crimson.
For the Crimson?
Yeah.
I have no 23.
No 23, yeah.
So I guess you call her 23. Oh, we couldn't. We've made up names in the past. We couldn't make up a name.
I'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Here's Stevenson trying to feed a cutting Anna Langworthy. Miss hit a little bit there by Kaylin Green, the sophomore.
Kaylin Green, good athlete, basketball player as well.
Daughter of former Coon Rapids head
Correct.
basketball
Ryan Green.
coach?
Yep. Who was in attendance, I just saw.
Clough looking for teammates to find. Green. Maya Thomas gets in the way of that one. Really big impact by Hetland off the bench. She has been a terror down that right side. Putting crosses in that corner, assisting on that corner. Baronic. Back for Germanson. Lee, they tried a little give and go. No foul called, although it looked like, or certainly Haley Q thought she was run into. They really like those 1-2s, though. You can tell they drill them a lot. Number 4, Lyric Burrell, set to come in. No doubt musical. Into the
I'll
channel
make a note
here.
of that.
Crimson have a 3-on-2, and Bone dives to her left to make the save. Sometimes the Crimson, when they're rushing forward on the counterattack, are just outnumbering the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And they, we've seen them get behind the defense a couple of times.
Lee takes a touch into the channel. Gets it back. Shot. Hetland just out of her sliding reach. Crimson have a 2-goal lead, Howie, but it could be much more.
Oh, it could.
If they had been able to connect on any of these opportunities, any of these crosses at the far post.
Yeah, we talked about that with the boys, although a different reason why it wasn't more because of the good goaltending by Luke Rising.
Yeah, this time it's Stella Bone has been fine, but
yeah, no, she has.
It is certainly just a matter of timing being a little bit off for the Crimson when they're trying to make those connections at the far post. The right idea, crossing, finding it, the touch, just the timing a little off.
Right.
Fortunately for Coon Rapids, as Burrell, with plenty of time and space, gets it back to Clough. Hetland playing it into the channel. No one home, though. Intercepted again by the Crimson. They managed to transition from offense to defense, particularly in the midfield, really well. Hetland all alone in front and redirects it in.
Wow. Again, she just didn't even get a lot on that, but redirected it enough where Bone wasn't able to get to the ball.
Lola Hetland now with a goal and an assist in this first half. And she just kind of side-footed it in, didn't really get much on it, but she cut in front of the defender, crucially. Great ball to find her, and actually I think that
went
may
off
have,
the defender.
Yeah, it did. It deflected off of Maya Thomas's foot. Great feed into her in the box, and then she took a touch. And Bone, I think, was in the right position.
She was.
But it was redirected in.
Wasn't looking for that or thinking about that redirect.
Still, that would have likely gone in regardless. So Hetland gets credit for the goal. I believe it was 23 who assisted. So
there you go.
The nameless assister. But Maple Grove doing an outstanding job sharing the ball as Lee takes a crack off the crossbar. LeClaire tries to clear and can't. Battle for it at the top of the box. Bakri finally clears, but only as far as Burrell. Lee took a shot. She's got a pretty wicked shot from outside the box, and she rattled the crossbar. Baronic for Burrell. And Maple Grove, you can tell, just playing with oodles of confidence. Starting to really knock that ball around and find those connections. Hetlet again offering herself in the channel. Hetlet goes near post, and Bone makes a nice save to push it past the post.
And again, good pressure from the Crimson. I mean, they're producing offensively, but Bone able to get a hand on it.
Left foot always rising and then dipping, and then Hetland here. If she had just taken it here
maybe shot to
and
the far
gone
corner.
far
Yep.
post, she would have easily had her second goal
Agreed.
in 5 minutes, but she chose to try to sneak it near post, and Bone had it covered, able to push it around past the post. So Hetland will take the corner. They've scored once on it. That one not as successful. Goes out for a goal kick. Inside of 10 minutes, inside of 8.5 now to play in the first half. Cardinals trail the Crimson at home 3-0.
So we're hearing that Grace Finn is the number 23 for the Crimson.
Grace Finn, good to know. Grace Finn credited with the assist for that excellent Hetland goal to make it 3-0. And yeah, 3 goals, Howie, in roughly 7 minutes and 25 seconds has turned this game on its head.
Yeah, that'll make it lopsided pretty fairly quickly. Well, you see the time remaining, a little over 7 minutes in this first half, but Cardinals would like to get something going offensively. They just haven't been able to. Similar to the boys in that first game, they could not get any. Just one shot on goal, and that was because of a defensive miscue.
Yeah. That one underneath the boot of LeClaire, but luckily Bone is there. How about the impact of Hetland off the bench?
Yeah.
A goal and an assist, could have had more. She has been an instant impact substitute. In fact, they're getting a lot of contributions, including from Finn and Lee. Really, it's Lee and Hetland. We've called their names quite a lot in this first half. Lee has bossed the game despite not being on the score sheet yet. Burrell works it near side for Lydia Zarata. Baranek. Lee takes another crack and almost takes out the ball boy. So Lee not shy about firing from distance.
Well, you know, Coon Rapids, I don't know if you know this, but Coon Rapids is called Tough Guy Town. And everybody that lives in Coon Rapids is a tough guy.
Hey, you're not allowed to live there. You almost blocked it. Isabel Allen comes in to replace Maya Thomas. Trying to inject some life into this Coon Rapids attack as Delfrat goes down. And again, Maple Grove really settling into possession, and just a lot of space in that midfield for them to operate. And they're doing a nice job of just going inside to out and attacking that way. Hetland gets a step, collided with by Bakri. Finn drops it back for Lee, takes a touch. Bone pushes it over the crossbar. Excellent save by Stella Bone.
Well, and continued pressure by the Crimson as they pretty much dominated the play down in the Cardinal end. But Bone doing a nice job of getting a piece of it and pushing it up over the top of the goal.
Another corner kick for Hetland. And my count there, 4th. To the near post, Bone pushes it out. Now back to Hetland. Tries to get past her defender and can't. Acres of space to run into here for the Coon Rapids Cardinals, and it goes out of play for Callie Alphen. Tried to take the space.
So you were making mention in the first half that the boys played with those gray soccer balls. Not so much for the girls here.
No, yeah. Great observation. Had not even noticed.
That's why they pay me the big bucks, to observe those kind of minute details.
The details and
I'm a detail man.
And tough guy town talk.
Tough guy town and details.
Finn's shot is blocked out there by Delfrat. Delfrat, I believe, takes a knock and goes down on the far side. Be awesome if her house had a sign outside that just said Delfrat House.
The frat, that would be great. Maybe it does. We don't know this.
It should, if
should.
it doesn't.
Well, yeah, I think that's a great suggestion.
Yeah, just lean into it.
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't you? I mean, it's perfect.
Speaking of Delfrat, Tessa cannot keep it in play on the far side. Good strength there from Katie Powers, the aptly named Katie Powers, trying to take it away. Stolen again, shot from distance, and this time Bone ushers it out for a goal kick. 3.5 minutes to go before halftime.
Well, Coach Benson will have to talk to Zero what he girls at the half and what they feel they can do to turn this around. Any kind of adjustments that they're seeing.
Hetland uses good strength to take it away initially, but great job to steal it right back. Tries to square it. Finn. Nicely done by Delfrat to take it back. Booted forward. Feels like Grace Stevenson hasn't had a touch in a while.
You're right. You haven't called her name.
Bakri. Wisely trying to take the throw quickly. I think there just needs to be a little more urgency, a little more press to try to make this Maple Grove team a little more uncomfortable in possession. That one overhit for Bone. Bakri loses out to Baranek. Lyric Burrell. Calmly done in the midfield. Sprays it wide for Lydia Zarata. Goes out of play in front of the Maple Grove bench. On the near side. Nicely played by Kaylin Green.
Yeah, Green did a nice job of getting it over there, prevent the opportunity.
Burrell being hounded by Bakri, but it's a foul. Maple Grove coaching staff has to like what they've seen in this first half from their girls, who were shut out on Saturday against Wyzetta, but have struck 3 times in the span of 7 minutes in this first half and have really taken control of this soccer game for the last 25 minutes. It's pretty back and forth, Howie, I'd say, for the first 15, 18 minutes, 20 minutes even, but since then, good movement by Bakri, fighting off defenders and trying to weave her way through. Not much support, though. But the compete level, which Coach Benson talked about wanting to see, has been there, as we say it usually is.
Well, granted, and this is a new system for the girls, and it's early, obviously, in the season, so it's going to come over time. But he just wants to see steady improvement, as I want to say, is regardless of the score, but nonetheless, he just wants to see steady improvement as the season continues.
20 seconds to go, first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll have first half highlights, some minor analysis, and then second half action here from Cardinals Stadium.
Are we going to have highlights of you in that spelling bee?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
okay,
we dug that up, so stay tuned
excellent
for that. Maple Grove scores 3 times in the span of 7 minutes midway through this first half, and they have a comfortable 3-0 lead over Coon Rapids here at halftime on CTN.
As you know, CTNs on YouTube, and we're on in a big way. We have thousands of videos online to help you stay connected to Coon Rapids on any device, at home, or on the go. And it's because of your faithful viewership that we can celebrate 10,000 subscribers to the CTN YouTube page. Thank you for your support as we continue to keep you connected.
So, Howie, did you know the term soccer actually came from England?
But don't the English call soccer football, like pretty much everyone else?
Yeah, but only after we started saying soccer and the world was mocking us for it.
So you're saying the UK set us up?
Yep, sabotage.
Brits.
Beautiful scenery here at Cardinals Stadium in Coon Rapids. Cardinals wish the score were a little different, however. They held their own for much of the first half, but Maple Grove jumped on them and took advantage of some beautiful opportunities. They had other chances before then that they could have scored on, but didn't. And some near misses, LeClaire going off the crossbar, but finally they were able to break through. About midway through the first half, as Riley Lloyd ran onto that one, and then a couple 41 seconds later they convert from a corner kick. A very well executed play off the training ground, and then they would make it 3 here from Hetland off the bench, a goal and an assist for the senior, and that's how we stand at 3-0 at halftime. As Howie, the Cardinals hung tough for a little while, but the momentum switched in favor of the Crimson about halfway through, and it stayed there.
Yeah, solid first half by Maple Grove, and anytime you get up with this kind of lead, that puts a lot of pressure, especially on a younger team, and so now the Cardinals are going to have their work cut out for them coming back in the second half. I think they need to score relatively quickly to try and get some of the momentum.
Yep, no question about it. Maple Grove playing with a lot of confidence as they seek their first win of the season. 3-0. Coon Rapids trails it here at the half on CTN. Cardinals coming out for second half action, trailing by 3 goals to Northwest Suburban Conference rival Maple Grove under the lights here at Cardinals Stadium in Coon Rapids on a beautiful late summer's evening. And Cardinals got some work to do.
They do.
Erlen Yang Win and company.
Yep. They have a hole to dig out of, and I'm sure that Coach Benson had some good words during halftime and how to motivate them and see if they can get back. Red's in the house, which she's always in the house.
It's not a Coon Rapids athletic event without Red.
Nope, #1 fan.
Maple Grove will kick things off to start the second half. Grace Quinn wearing number 23, not number 24 on your program.
Finn. And not Finn.
Not Finn, but
It's
Quinn. It's Grace Quinn and Hetland and Burrell all starting in the second half. So really rotating the squad, getting the young players some valuable minutes at the varsity level. As Maple Grove, and why not? They've earned it. Absolutely. Hetland a goal and an assist in that first half. Good pressure applied here by the Cardinals, however. Lyric Burrell, who has looked very poised in possession, as has most of the Crimson. Playing that back four. The Cardinals started the first half on the front foot. Hopefully they can do the same in the second half. Here's Jessica Lee, the freshman midfielder. Gets it up, and offside flag is up for the third time today, this time on Quinn.
Well, the Cardinals need something to happen relatively early here in this game, trailing 3-0. And we talked about just one shot on goal. 5 for the Crimson, but 3 have found the back of the net as head coach Ben Benson looks on.
This stadium looks great in the daylight, but it looks even better under the lights.
It's such a great place. It's my second home.
When are you getting the statue? That's what I want to know. The Howie and Joe statue.
You mean another? I don't know that we're ever going to get a statue. We have puppets. I mean, puppets are good. So we have a puppet of each other, of ourselves. I mean,
the best way to honor you would be to, like, each of you just get a hand, like not a full face statue, but just a hand with a microphone.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
You would take that.
I would take that.
Burrell knocked off the ball and a foul committed by the Cardinals.
I'll take any recognition I can get. I just like to be loved.
Don't we all? I think that's a song lyric.
It is a song lyric.
Into the box, and Bone tracks it down just over the head of Grace Quinn from Abby Toso. Have not called Toso's name very much. Just as I say that, the ball comes right to her. That's what you figure.
It's like Beetlejuice.
It's the broadcaster curse. Toso going to Minnesota Moorhead. They'll play it back. A little bit of a miscommunication, but nice job by Diana Park, who, talk about little to do. Diana Park has had very little to do the last 20 minutes.
Just one shot on goal.
Yeah.
We saw that from the boys too. Just one shot on goal for the boys, but it happened to find the back of the net.
Yep. But we thought it might be an issue for both teams. Where were they going to go for offense this year?
Well, they figured some things out here tonight.
Well, both teams, as in the boys and the girls for Coon Rapids, both searching for an offensive answer. And Grace Stevenson was heavily involved early, and she has just not had much service since. As Park comes out to collect.
Well, Maple Grove doing a good job of marking her and keeping her under check, or in check, I should say.
Looking for Hetland on the near side, but that goes out of play. Be interesting to see how much Anna Langworthy and LeClaire get playing time. LeClaire out there right now, but both dealing with some minor knocks.
Yep.
As Stevenson does get a touch here, but sends it long and out of play. One of the many seniors on this Coon Rapids. You look at it, it's seems like it's either seniors or freshmen or sophomores. So it's a good mix of upper and underclassmen for new head coach Ben Benson in his first year. And like you said, just a super nice guy, really passionate, cares about the kids in this program and their development as soccer players. And that's all you can ask for in a coach, really. Throwing on the near side for Hallie Q. Five minutes gone by here, second half. So now we've got a ref conversation. Might we see our first card? As generally that's what happens when they stop the clock.
We didn't see one in the boys' game.
No.
I'm not sure we're going to see one here either.
No, I stopped it initially. Play on as the free kick for Q. Bakri told to get 10 yards back. Hetland gives way for Baranek. Burrell. Maple Grove, as both boys and girls, content to play through the backfield and just drop it back in order to keep possession. Here's Lee, the freshman. Looked excellent in this game. Definitely a player that will only grow in confidence and playing time. Good step as Toso cuts it off. Nice job, though, by the Cardinals to steal it back, and play on, says the ref. Plays the advantage, I guess. Down line for Stevenson. Toso intercepts her path and lets it run out for a goal kick. Cardinals had a couple early corner kicks, but
nothing since.
Nothing since,
Nope.
And that's kind of been the theme, really. They were in it for the first 15 minutes or so, but now Ben Benson's squad searching for some sort of offensive consistency. Good crowd on hand here tonight. The home opener for the Cardinals. Stevenson for Bakri. Back to Stevenson, but it's cut out nicely by the Maple Grove defense.
Yeah,
be careful on the counterattack.
For
now.
both games, Bill, it's been a nice crowd. I think a little more for the boys' game, but nonetheless, it's a beautiful evening to come out and watch some soccer.
Yeah. Me speaking personally, I just want to watch live sports on a night like tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, when it's this nice. You don't want to be inside. Lyric Burrell.
So would you rather be inside watching a movie or outside watching the National Pickup Sticks Championship?
I think the pickup sticks, and ideally commenting on it and trying to fit as many stick and wood-related puns into the broadcast as I possibly could. I'd consider it my personal challenge. Lee races onto it. Can't let her get a step. Good job cutting it off. Excellent defense. I believe that's Kaylin Green. These old eyes don't see as well at night. Hetland, all kinds of time and space. Stolen by Bakri. Bakri drops it beautifully for Yang Win. Looking for Stevenson. Stevenson gets a step, goes down in the box.
Nothing called.
Oh, that is a miss.
That is a miss. That should have been called.
Absolutely a penalty, and the ref's staring right at it.
Yeah, and especially the part of the field it was in, too. It would have been a great opportunity for the Cardinals.
She got a step. If it might have been right outside the box, but that
nonetheless,
you can't say that's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And the ref is letting them play, I suppose. And so we play on. Coon Rapids could have had a golden opportunity there to get on the board. But nothing doing as the throw goes to the Crimson on the far side. Be taken by Kate Powers. Lee. Burrell nifty turn. Seems to like to do that sort of pivot in the midfield,
Yep.
but is comfortable dropping it back to her back line.
I'm gonna say she was
Loses
out.
it. Yep. Stevenson with the pressure. This moves by Bakri. Stevenson has been running her socks off in this half and just not enough to chase after that one down the end line. Quarter of the second half just about gone by. Cardinals have been better in this second
They
half,
have.
more like the first part of the first half, but still trail it by 3 goals as Riley Lloyd returns.
Well, much like we talked about in the boys' game, the girls certainly with a 3-goal lead for Maple Grove, they're not in any hurry to get things going. They'll let the clock continue to run, nursing that 3-goal lead.
Quinn doing a nice job shielding the ball, but great job by Bakri to take it away. Yang Win wins it back. Down line for Stevenson. Stevenson with a cross. Oh, in front. Tracked down. Oh, there was a golden
Great
opportunity there for Alphen. Or beg your pardon, for Stegman, who was right there as Langworthy's going to replace Stegman. Stegman was in the perfect position, but just couldn't get a boot on it.
I mean, it was right there. Yeah, she'd love to have that one back because had she been able to settle that one, that would have been a goal.
Went with her left boot right there, but just could not get enough connection on it. But that's half the battle of scoring goals, Howie, right, is putting yourself in the positions
Exactly.
to have those opportunities. Much better pressure in this second half from the Cardinals, who are threatening to dent the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Booted forward by LeClaire.
No, they certainly would love to in this situation. Still plenty of time remaining in this second half, but the score is not on their side.
Bakri drops it back. And at this point, it is the little wins, right? Scoring a goal and, if not winning, opportunity potentially here. Great hustle to force the turnover by Alphen initially, but watch out for Maple Grove if they break. Rue. Intercepted in the middle by Kang. Now it's Lee. Hetland races onto it. The cross, Oakland tries to get there and can't. And now a break for the Cardinals. Lumped forward for Langworthy to chase down. And it's swept ahead. Nice job by Q to trap that initially. Here's Kang in the midfield. Kang's pass a little behind Burrell, and Bakri takes it away. Bakri for Langworthy, but a nice job Maple Grove just ushering Anna to the sidelines, and she's just never going to hurt you from there.
No, I mean, you'll be pushing her to the sideline all night and be happy.
Nicely done there by defender Caitlin Clough, the junior who has been a rock back there tonight for Maple Grove, as Quinn gets a well-deserved rest, as does Burrell and Zarafa. Shot on goal, bouncing and handled very comfortably by Diana Park. Riley Lloyd has got a goal tonight. Del Frat loses out, but earns the free kick as Lee commits the infraction. Lee did not start this game, but came in maybe about 10, 15 minutes in. And it feels like, from my recollection anyway, that as soon as she came in, the tenor of the game changed.
I thought so too. I really did. You know, she's done a nice job since she's been in the action.
And she has really not come out since.
Nope.
Good little passage of play, finds its way back to Bakri. Down line for Langworthy. Gets a cross in. Bakri's there, but it goes out of play.
Yeah, a good play design, because she's able to get that one deep in the corner and then push it across to the goal mouth. But Bakri was not able to get anything on it.
I beg your pardon. That was actually Selena Cardenas Lazos who was there and in position.
See what I get for listening to you.
You gotta be like, are you sure? Are you sure about that? Langworthy, though, with a great cross, and again, knowing where to put yourself in position. That's just a well-coached team.
Correct.
Oakland sees it run out of bounds into the Coon Rapids bench. About 15 minutes gone by here, second half at Cardinal Stadium. And we're where we were at halftime. A 3-goal lead for Maple Grove. Good call there as Caitlin Griffin was nudged off the ball. I guess I'm just not sure why that's a foul, but
And the other one wasn't. Yeah, there was a lot more contact in with the other one.
Yeah, the shove in the back.
Maybe they just missed
in the
it.
box.
I mean, how do you
not.
miss it? Because it was pretty obvious.
Well, and it's not like it was away from the ball. He was watching the play.
No, exactly.
Be that as it may, Sophia Bakri will tee it up. Low free kick cut out nicely by Riley Lloyd. Oh, good job reading the danger there by Angelina LeClaire. Rue. Crimson get it back. Abby Oakland. LeClaire sweeps away the danger. Not much support for Griffin, who is chasing down Abby Toso, who calmly does it, as a senior fullback should. Got a whistle and a stoppage of play, as I think there was a injury. Abby Oakland will see the trainer. Bakri will restart things for Coon Rapids. And, you know, again, just first 15 minutes, and there's a foul, another foul on the Crimson and Kate Powers. But, again, these first 15 minutes looking very much, and probably even better than the first 15 minutes of the first half. Toward the goal, Bounder, loose in the box. Who's got it? Park able to corral it. Park, maybe the smallest kid out there, and yet comes away with it. The senior. Good job bringing it down initially by Tatum Munn. Cardenas Lazos tries to get there and can't. That bounding ball again.
Yeah, that's dangerous right
Physical for Diana Parks, and she snatched it while laying on the ground. So knocked to the ground, but Cardinals could not take advantage. Now here is Maple Grove in the open field. Beautiful ball slid through. Good recovery, though, by the Cardinals defense, and that shot handled comfortably by Stella Bone. Kate Powers not able to get much on it.
Yeah, if she were able to lead her just a little bit more, she may have been able to get a good shot on goal, because a good defensive play, though, by the Cardinals, and she had to slow down a little bit to get the ball.
They are so dangerous, though, in that game. And here's an opportunity for Coon Rapids. Cardinals streaking in. The goalie comes out. That's got to be a penalty. Swept away, and there it is, pointing to the spot. The Coon Rapids Cardinals will have a penalty as Diana Park came out and took down the Cardinal attacker.
And again, maybe that's a good penalty to take in regards to she had a teammate to her right,
and she just
tried to get it across.
Yeah, she cut the ball in. It was Callie Alphen, the freshman who cut it back and then was taken down in the box. Believe it's Sophia Bakri who will take this one for Coon Rapids. Bakri dispatches it in the net.
And again, that's exactly what Coon Rapids needed. They're still more than halfway, less than halfway through this second half, and they get on the board.
Excellent, a very calm penalty taken by Sophia Bakri, the junior. She gets the Cardinals on the board. It's 3-1. Decisive, and Parks never stood a chance. Basically sent her the wrong way. That goal coming with 21:31 remaining second half, and
a big goal it is.
Absolutely.
Cardinals need a little momentum. They didn't have any in that first half, and really Maple Grove has controlled this action here too in the second half, although the Cardinals have played, as you mentioned, much better here in half number 2 than they did in half number 1.
I would say the Cardinals have been the ones playing with much more urgency.
Agree. Well, when you're down 3-0, it's like, you better be urgent.
And it's so easy to sort of take your foot off the proverbial gas. As a fight ensuing between Germanson and Del Frat out there. But the ball has been largely in the Coon Rapids half, on the Coon Rapids side of the field. Not sure we're going to be seeing any more of Abby Oakland, who is gingerly walking toward the Maple Grove bench.
I think she's got some ice wrapped on her leg as well.
Lower body injury will keep her out for the rest of the game, presumably, as the Crimson continue to possess. But again, the pressing and the confidence rising for Coon Rapids here as we're just about midway through the second half. Q receives the ball, and again, now Maple Grove may be trying to do a little more one-touch passing, a little more possession. Germanson turns it over. Cardenas Lazos has it stolen from behind by Lee, but a foul called. And now Lee frustrated. The last, I would say, 6 or 7 fouls have gone against Maple Grove.
Correct.
Including that penalty. They're up to 10 by my count for the game. But you see the Cardenas Lazos was battling for the ball. To me, that's a 50-50.
I agree. I didn't see a lot there.
Yeah, Lee whistled for the infraction. And again, another opportunity for Coon Rapids to cut this lead. Low driven into the wall. Wall does its job. Another shot followed up by Grace Stevenson, and she earns a corner. So job done as Ben Benson looks on.
His brother, Bob.
Bob Benson was from Mad Men, I believe.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Famous scene, of course, in the elevator where Pete Campbell asked Pete Campbell, "How you doing, Pete?" "Not good, Bob." Grace Stevenson. Low corner driven to the front post. It's loose. Oh, if a Cardinal could pounce on it. But Diana Parks came off her line and snagged it. Didn't look like a great corner, but somehow it was flicked on. Great job by Cardenas Lazos, or no, I believe that it was actually Erlin Yang Win who flicked it on with her back heel into a dangerous area, but Diana Parks read it well.
Yeah, she did. She came out and made sure she covered up.
Now it's Sophia Bakri who's walking a little gingerly, but momentum squarely with the red and black right now at home. Stevenson turns. Well, Maple Grove kind of on the back heels, proverbially. And in that case, literally, as Abby Toso falls down.
For sure.
Yeah. Cardinals a little bunched, though, as Lee sweeps the danger away. Big collision as Tatum Munn tries to race onto it. Great job tracking back, though, by Rue. Munn. Toe pokes it looking for Lee. Here's Munn on the turn. Wide for Powers. Powers tees it up on the back post. had a teammate there, but ultimately swept away by Angelina Leclerc.
Yeah, she couldn't settle it. It was a great opportunity for Maple Grove right in front of the goal.
How many times have the Crimson stood up crosses at the back post as the sunset continues to.
Beautiful sky.
Yeah, beautiful sky here. That's what I was trying to say. Right there, and really,
there it is.
Lloyd
Look at
could have,
that.
yeah, beautiful shot. Lloyd could have had her second, but sort of mistimed the shot. Inside of 17 minutes to go, second half. Cardinals, they can score one more here quickly, can make the last 15 minutes or so very interesting. Q. Now the Maple Grove faithful growing a little restless with the one-sided calls they feel. Here's Lee. Nifty footwork to get away. Kang. Back for Germanson. Near side Q. Toso. Up for Lee. Offside, the call. Fourth of the game on Maple Grove. Well, Ben Benson, however this turns out, Howie, Ben Benson has to be very encouraged by the performance he's seen from his Cardinals in the second half.
Oh yeah, I mean, you talked about it. You touched on it. You're down 3-0 at the break. It's will the team fold? Will the team just not give it their all? But they certainly have here in half number 2.
He talked about wanting to see compete from his girls, and he's certainly seen that tonight. Particularly in the second half, they can sense the Maple Grove maybe getting a little tight. I mean, Maple Grove had that 7.5 minute stretch in the first half where they scored their 3 goals. And other than that, we have a whistle, the play being pulled back. And another offside on Maple Grove. So now Coon Rapids playing that high line, trying to catch the Crimson offside.
Well, and again, it's adjustments that I'm sure that Coach Benson talked about at the break, and here's what we need to do, and whatever he talked to the girls about, it certainly has worked because they've played so much better.
LeClair's pass intercepted. Here's Munn, little 1-2 looking for Lloyd. Nicely read though by Rue. Possession has been much more even seemingly in the second half, whereas the Crimson really, especially for the last part of the first half, dominated possession.
Well, they're almost like they're playing a little tight with that 3-0 lead.
Cross comes in off the crossbar and over. A little bit mishit, but it was a nice effort nonetheless from Riley Lloyd, who scored a goal in the first half. Maple Grove getting some real production off their bench, as I think she probably intended to find Munn or Powers on the far post, but just mishit it a little bit. Inside of 15 minutes to play here at Cardinal Stadium. Under the lights on opening night for both the boys and girls. Don't forget, we'll have CTN coverage of boys and girls soccer right back here at Cardinal Stadium in a little over a week, September 5th. I'll be on the call for Anoka at Coon Rapids.
You will be behind the mic, on the mic, while
with more bad puns and questionable dated references.
Yes, well, I don't know about questionable.
Dated references?
Dated references.
Yeah. And a yellow card being issued.
Oh.
Caution to
Benson? Did they do it at the bench?
They did it to Benson or maybe to Tessa Del Frat for an earring. So would that delay of game result in a booking? I
don't know.
Not up to date on my earring rulings. But I believe it's Del Frat that goes in the book, so she'll sit out. That would be considered a delay of game, but we're back to action now. Nice move to get inside. There's a shot from distance, and it flashes wide.
Yeah, just got a good look at the goal and just put a little bit on that and pushed it wide.
Now, how impressive has this freshman been tonight?
Yes,
Again,
very much so.
Has not featured on the score sheet, but that does not mean at all that she hasn't impacted
No,
the game.
she's contributed mightily.
She has been the engine that has made this Maple Grove Crimson go through the central midfield. And like we said, I mean, you look at the turning point of this game, it's when she came on and started driving that offense.
Yep.
And her introduction is what eventually led to that 3-goal spurt that has us standing at 3-1. Lee for Lloyd. And now if you're Maple Grove, you can really afford to contemplate keep away, if you will.
Oh, yeah, 12 and a half minutes remaining.
Crimson looking to pick up their first win of the season, as is Coon Rapids.
And we talked about they opened with a tie against Chisago Lake and then a 4-0 loss to Mounds View.
Figure the powers in the Northwest Suburban Conference, as they usually are, will be likes of Andover and Centennial.
Yep.
Maple Grove and Centennial have had some dandy soccer games over the last couple of years. In girls hockey, girls soccer, tremendous rivalry. Little give and go back for Munn. Takes a shot and flashes it wide.
Yeah, that was a beautiful give and go.
Maple Grove, 3-1 the score. Scoreboard is showing 4-1, but unless we missed a goal in all of our
banter.
tomfoolery. Lee pumps it forward. It seems to me that the last 4 or 5 Maple Grove shots have been wide. Scoreboard is showing 4-1, but got Howie checking on that. Believe it's 3-1. And it was a scoreboard error, we're being told. So don't adjust your TV sets at home. It's 3-1. It was the,
we have it straightened out.
yes, Howie is has confirmed. And if Howie Schwab says it's good enough,
Then it's good.
It's good enough for me.
Howie Shapiro, not so much, but
No,
if it's
I
Schwab,
don't trust that guy.
then it's law.
Yeah. Lee on the turn. Sir Tatum. Beautiful passage of play, but the flag is up on Lloyd. They are living dangerously with that high line, but that's the 6th offside of the night, so it's working. And the Crimson attackers not quite checking their runs. That is a real skill, especially at the professional level, to time your run just so.
Right, exactly.
So when the pass is played, you are onside.
Practice,
again.
practice.
Little give and go. Munn gets a step around LeClaire. Good block by LeClaire, though. Great recovery by the sophomore to deny the clearance. That was everything but the Matumbo finger wag on that.
You're dating yourself.
That attempt. Ducked her shoulder, but great recovery by LeClaire to block the cross. Another corner for the Crimson. Headed out of play. In the second half, Howie, it's not like Maple Grove hasn't had their shots. They haven't been able to hit the net.
They have not.
And they have not tested Stella Bow.
And they've only had one shot on goal here in this second half.
Grace Stevenson and Anna Langworthy on, presumably for the last 9 minutes or so. Contributions up and down the lineup. The Cardinals have, whether it's been a sub or a starter, they have had many contributors tonight. Yep. Goal scored by Sophia Bakri after The penalty was earned by Callie Alphen. I feel like if you earn the penalty, you should get an assist.
You should get an assist, but it doesn't work that way.
No. If Howie Schwab said it did, though, it would. Lee flashes it wide again. Lee with that left foot. I mean, remember the first half rang the crossbar?
Yeah, absolutely.
And she has let it fly from distance several times, but just missed by a whisker.
Missed it by this much.
Inside of 8 minutes to play in the second half.
Now that's a reference that's really dating me. And I'm sure you don't know who it is.
No, I've heard it. I just couldn't.
It's there was an old show, Maxwell Smart.
Okay.
Get Smart, and that was one of the lines. The famous voice of Tennessee Tuxedo is Maxwell Smart.
Yeah, I knew that it was a reference to something. I just didn't know.
Well,
know
you're a little too young for that.
Bakri frenetically trying to dance around Kang. Dummies, but no one behind. Yeah, guess it went off a Maple Grove player. Now we've got the dulcet tones of the Cardinal Marching Band practicing in the background. It's adding a little more atmosphere here. Great job by Langworthy tracking back. The pressing from the Cardinals, particularly in the second half, has been pretty relentless. They have not let Maple Grove get real comfortable on the ball in that central midfield.
No, yeah, and to your point, I think that head coach Ben Benson's got to be happy with so far with a little 6.5 minutes remaining with what his girls have done. Obviously, you want the score to be a little different, but the fact that the effort they've given and the hustle they've showed.
Again, we talk about positives, things to build upon. There's certainly some good talking points, some learnings, but also some positives, some silver linings to take away from this performance for Ben Benson and his staff as Bakri carries it through midfield. And another goal here would make things very interesting as Alphen tries to dance away from Clough. Alphen has been active down that left side, earned the penalty for the Cardinals midway through this half. Lee calmly done to Kang. Wide for Powers. LeClaire fighting hard with Munn. Lee from distance, and again flashes it just over. Close, but no cigar.
Yeah, she had the accuracy just a little bit too high on that one.
Well, her shot is a lot of power, and it's rising.
Yeah.
And a couple times she has just not measured it quite enough. But she has certainly put in the kind of performance that you would think would earn her maybe a start, or certainly earn her the playing time that she's gotten.
Yep.
As we are inside of 5 minutes left to play in regulation. Down line for Grace Stevenson. Actually, I should say regulation. That's a change this year in soccer. No overtimes in the regular season.
Which is crazy.
So each team would earn a point in conference play. If Coon Rapids can pull a rabbit out of a hat.
Well, and that's what they would need to do here with time winding down. It's not impossible for sure.
Oh, Maple Grove scored twice in 41 seconds in the first half as Toso boots it wide for Lloyd to run onto. Now Maple Grove at this point in the game, anywhere will do from a clearance standpoint. Toso, good step into the path of Munn. Good job tracking back. Great hustle there by the freshman, or sophomore rather, Kaylin Green. Taken down by Germanson. Here's Lee into the channel. Great ball for Lloyd. Goalie's out. Lloyd scores. Goal number 2 for Riley Lloyd, the junior, and that'll about do it for the Crimson.
That should
tonight.
That should sew it up. And a bone came out of the net and tried to cut it off, but she did a really good job of getting to that ball and pushing it faster.
Let's not forget who started that. Look at the ball from Lee.
Yep.
Into the channel, past Kylie Stegman. Or that might have been actually, that is Stegman, and that's just nothing the freshman could do about it. That's a great ball from Lee. Lloyd was onto it, and once Bone was out, Lloyd got there first and beat the sophomore goalkeeper for the 4th goal of the night, and the first goal of the second half for Maple Grove. What an assist, by Lee.
Yes, it was.
Lloyd with
Very
2
pretty.
tonight, Lee with a couple assists, Lloyd with a couple goals. And that'll about do it.
That should sew it up.
Yeah. Yep. Goal in each half, or a goal for each team in this half. As the wind starts to pick up a little bit. Feels pretty good, actually.
It does actually. Feels very good.
Free kick here as Bakri sends it to the top of the box. Good hold-up play by this front line for Maple Grove as well as Lee charges forward. She is seemingly indefatigable. Easy
for you to say.
Oh, boy. Lloyd crossing, far side Powers. Here I am trying to use $10 words.
Yeah, and you get
she doesn't get
$9.99
tired.
and change.
Yeah, she doesn't get tired. That'll do.
There you go.
And she has been just charging forward.
That's just a $5.
Relentless.
That's a
Yes.
$5 word.
Exactly. Grace Stevenson with the cross. Here's Kang, and you can see some tired Cardinals and Crimson out there now. Little 1-2 back to Kang in all kinds of time. Game's not over yet, said someone from the crowd.
It's not. There's a minute 40 left.
Players are like, you try running out here for 80 minutes. LeClaire. And a foul called on Powers. Committed by Isabel Allen. Still a hot night out.
Yes. But the breeze is nice.
But the breeze is nice. As we nearing a minute to go in the game. Cardinals will fall to 0-2-1 on the season. Maple Grove will pick up its first win of the 2023 campaign. They'll even their record at 1-1. Q. Just out of the reach of Lee. And Bone, one more save with 45 seconds and counting left. Well, again, Howie, lots of positives for Ben Benson and his
there's
staff
no question
to take away, especially with how his kids played in the first half and the majority of the second half, really the whole second half. The intensity, the pressing, the urgency, and certainly deserved that goal that they got. Lee on her horse once more through midfield. Less than 10 seconds, one more pop at it.
Up and over.
Munn skies it over the crossbar as time expires here at Cardinals Stadium.
Well, we talked. Oh, go ahead.
Cardinals get one back in the second half through a penalty slotted home by Sophia Bakri, but ultimately not enough. Maple Grove, through 3 first-half goals, cruises to a 4-1 victory. But again, Howie, a game effort tonight by the Cardinals.
Definitely a game effort, especially in that second half. They did a really good job of capitalizing on opportunities. Got that one goal to cut it to a 3-1 lead, but unfortunately, that's as far as it goes. And they're going to get to take the loss. And as you mentioned, they will definitely look for that first win here coming up.
Upcoming
Next
coverage
Tuesday.
schedule on CTN, as we said, girls and boys soccer right back here at Cardinal Stadium, Anoka at Coon Rapids, and then a prep football game coming up, second week of the season. Osseo at home against the Cardinals, the home Cardinals, and then, of course, a girls swimming and diving contest as well as they welcome in the Bengals. So a lot of good home sports here on CTN coming up.
Home cooking.
Home cooking. Always love it. So that'll do it for us here from Cardinals Stadium. In the boys game, the Cardinals fall to Maple Grove 3-1. And in the girls contest in the nightcap, Cardinals lose one 4-1 to Maple Grove. For Director Joel Sipper, Neil Hennon, and our entire CTN crew, we like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. And for my partner, Howie Shapiro, I'm Bill Hupp, saying good night from Cardinals Stadium. Thanks for watching this exclusive presentation of Coon Rapids Athletics on CTN.